How's it going there, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we're doing it's weird to say it this way, a sequel to the first reading that I ever hosted in doing these. We're doing Glass Onions. The first one I ever hosted on this was Knives Out. So, seems like a really nice kind of moment to come back to it. Very excited for this one. This movie I had a ton of fun with. I cannot wait to see how we kind of get into doing this tonight. So let's jump right into introducing ourselves.
Hi, I'm Curtis. I'm doing action description.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be Benoit Blanc.
Hello, I'm George, and I'll be Miles.
Angie, and I'm playing Birdie.
I'm Kevin. I'll be Duke.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'll be Claire.
I'm Erik. I'll be Lionel.
I'm Jessica, and I'll be Peg.
I'm Chelsea, and I will be Helen and Andi.
I'm Catie, and I'm Whiskey.
Johnny, I'll be Phillip.
I'm Matt, and I will be Efficient Man.
And I'm Travis playing Derol.
Derol, Travis.
Derol,
Derol. That way.
He's playing Derol.
The role of what?
Jesus. Anyway, on that terrible note, Curtis, take us away.
Okay, here we go. Glass Onion, adapted screenplay written by Ryan Johnson. A front door painted black. A hand knocks, muffled noise inside, and it opens, revealing Claire DeBella, 30s, nicely made up in a beige blouse, but wears sweatpants and Uggs. She's on the phone. The man who knocked is a courier delivering a cardboard box, about the size of 4 large stacked pizza boxes.
Subject to their approval. Hold on. Oh, hey. Oh, shit. Sorry. Let me.
She realizes she's wearing a mask, puts her arm awkwardly over her mouth, widened to reveal. Exterior suburban house, day. The courier's van with Connecticut plates at the curb. Claire signs for the package and takes it.
Sign here.
Thank you.
A title card up over this. May 13, 2020. Interior DeBella home. Claire awkwardly puts the large box in the kitchen island where her husband, Devon, 30s, shaggy haired in a vintage Greenpeace t-shirt, wrangles 3 kids and sorts paperwork.
What's this?
I don't know. I've got the CNN thing and now.
As she rushes into the living room, where a mini studio is set up in front of a bookshelf, the Bella 2020 election signs everywhere. She's a blaze of beige energy, sharp and incredibly wry.
Amy. Oh, Amy, come on, look alive. Hold that, please.
Claire hands her a phone and coffee.
On in 10, she's leading you in now.
In the kitchen, Devon has removed the cardboard box, revealing a large, smooth wooden box with a small note, "Love, Miles." Devon gets very excited.
It's from Miles.
Claire just has time to react to this before she's on live.
And with me now is Connecticut Governor Claire DeBella, whose Senate campaign is picking up steam, as she's positioned herself as a very different kind of candidate. Governor, thanks for joining us. Working from home like the rest of us, I can see.
Yes, welcome to our office, campaign center, kindergarten. We are losing our minds.
Interior aerospace factory. A cavernous warehouse-sized space with clean floors and massive pieces of strange equipment is empty and mostly dark. An unattended TV on the wall in an open break area with beanbag chairs plays to nobody at all.
Your campaign is backed by billionaire philanthropist Miles Braun, founder of the ubiquitous tech giant Alpha, which now has dozens of companies from Alpha Cosmos to Alpha Car, Alpha Shop, Alpha News.
A worker in protective gear and face shield rolls a cart through the space. Past the TV on the cart is a wood box, identical to the one Claire received. A huge sign in the background, if we notice it, Alpha Cosmos. Interior conference room. Lionel Toussaint, 30s, sits alone at a table facing a wall of various scientists on Zoom screens, head in his hands.
I know, but what can I do?
Every scientist says some exacerbated variation of.
You can tell him no.
Oh,
You can tell him no. Lionel, you're a scientist, not a publicist. You can't keep making excuses for Miles Byron's every insane whim.
But genius always looks like insanity at first, though, right? Isn't that how he became Miles Braun? I mean, you guys have no idea. The man faxes me in the middle of the night constantly. He loves faxes. He sends his ideas, and I'm supposed to, you tell me, genius or insanity.
Lionel pulls a handful of fax pages from a pile on the table.
Uber for biospheres. No idea, but maybe, right? AI and dogs equals discourse. All night long, they just keep here, but then.
He holds up another that just says child equals NFT.
Remember child equals NFT? We all laughed, but then the crypto kids app paid for this building.
The door opens and the worker pushes the card in.
Delivery, I wiped it down.
Lionel goes over to the cart, still talking, pulls it in.
How can you argue with that?
we know never bet against Braun. We know it, but he's asking us to put a volatile is the word, a volatile substance in a manned flight.
He won't listen. He just comes back with, make it work. And what if it works?
A stentorian scientist breaks through.
This is science, not religion. Remember that, Lionel. Because if your name is on this and it fails, it will sink you forever.
Lionel lifts the card in a wooden box. Love, Miles. Exterior, the Dakota, Manhattan, day. The beautiful apartment building on a Claire Manhattan day. Interior the apartment, Claire's interview on the television.
You know, I'm a hard line on climate change. If that scares you, go stick your head back in the sand. My constituents trust I'm going to fight the machine to keep their water clean and their land green. Oh, that's good. We got to get t-shirts with that. Remind me.
A pullback from the television to a room filled with a dizzying array of interesting people, models, musicians, authors, designers, circus performers, all reclining on couches or grouped on the floor, smoking and doing drum circles and partying like it isn't 2 p.m. on a weekday during a pandemic. Finally, we land on ex-model, magazine editor, and fashion designer Birdie J, 40s. A few men are at any given moment always paying attention to her, and she looks both fabulous and sick of life.
I'm so bored. Peg, where's Peg? Peg!
Birdie's long-suffering assistant Peg, late 20s, shuffles in the door holding a familiar cardboard box which she deposits on the coffee table.
I'm here. Please stop fire spinning inside.
Peg, I'm so bored. Give me my phone, just a little phone time.
No phone.
Why can't she have her phone?
Because she's mean.
Birdie rolls her eyes and sarcastically does air quotes.
No, because she's afraid I'll tweet and I think slur again.
You agreed. No phone for the rest of the media cycle.
I didn't even know that word referred to Jewish people. I thought it was a generic term for cheap.
Peg blinks at her.
Jewy?
Everything's so woke these days, it's out of control.
Yes. Peg pulls away cardboard, revealing the wood box.
I'm sorry, I say it like I see it. No filter. If people can't handle that it's their problem. What's this?
A guy dropped it off.
Birdie picks up the card and seeing who it's from, lights up. Interior, the Bella home. Claire, back in the kitchen with Devon, answers a call on her phone from Lionel. She puts him on speaker.
Okay, what is this, genius? What is this thing?
Split screen with Lionel in his conference room inspecting the box.
It's
one of Miles' invitations.
Well, duh, but what is it? It's just like a block of wood.
There's got to be a way to open it, right?
There's no latches or even visible seams. It's solid. The wood grain pattern is weird, though. It's familiar.
Claire's phone buzzes with another call.
It's Birdie. Hold on.
Claire adds her, and we now also split screen Birdie in the party apartment.
Okay, how do you open this thing?
Hi, Birdie. Lionel's on too. Hi, Peg.
Peg's putting out a fire, but she'll be back.
Putting out another fire. What did you say this time? You got to stay off Twitter.
No, nothing like that. It's fine.
Peg runs by in the background with a fire extinguisher.
Is this a Miles thing? Have you figured it out yet? Lionel, use your science brain.
Lionel runs his hands over the box, perplexed.
Working on it. Bird, should you be having a party right now?
They're in my pod. It's fine. Has anyone heard from Duke?
No.
No.
Interior 3-car garage day. A gorgeous Mustang parked in the background. Sleek weight, lifting equipment, expensive gadgets. Duke Cody, 40s, very fit, sits in the foreground, speaking directly into the camera. We slowly widen to reveal the frame of a YouTube video around him. We're watching him live broadcasting.
This has gotten some attention, obviously, so I want to speak to this. No, Jimmy Kimmel, I do not hate boobs. Boobs, breasts, give us many useful things. Milk, cheese. Breasts nourish our young until the age where we can hunt for them. And let's be honest, breasts are fun. Nothing wrong with them. Am I right, babe?
A 20-year-old girl named Whiskey steps in the frame, dressed in a sporty, provocative way involving camouflage.
I just love my boobs. They're like super fun. Oops. Sorry, feminists.
She struts off screen as Duke continues.
When we refer to the breastification of America, what we mean is a breakdown of the natural order, evolutionary truths that go back billions of years.
A woman's voice shouts from 3 rooms away.
Dookie!
If you're a young man in America, you're being asked to slow down so women can catch up. For centuries in the Western workplace has been dominated by men because that's what nature made us to do.
We pull back from a computer monitor, at which point we reveal that he was in front of a green screen with a photo background and is actually broadcasting from a slightly shittier 3-car garage with none of the polish or decor, with a slightly shittier version of the sports car, piles of merch with Lion logos and epoxicity slogans everywhere.
Dookie!
But you can have the next best thing with our Apex supplements. Whiskey's gonna break it down for you.
Duke weaves out of the garage and into the hallway of a McMansion, lots of cheap marble and clutter, shutting the door behind him. His mom walks through with a basket of laundry, speaks with a Jersey accent. Whiskey takes over and starts pitching the supplements as Duke walks out of frame.
Dookie, I've been calling you. You gotta answer me when I call.
Ma, will you shut it? I'm live. We've gone over this. Whiskey and me, when we're live.
Ma slaps him hard enough to rattle his teeth.
You tell me your mother to shut up?
I'm sorry.
Down, his eyes on the floor.
Nothing. Jeez, Mom. I'm sorry.
She nods coolly and walks off.
You got a delivery. It's in the kitchen.
Interior the Bella home conference room / apartment. Split screen all. Lionel examining the box with a loop.
Maybe it's sensitive to heat.
Wait, here's Duke. Hold on. Duke!
Now including in the split screening. Interior Duke's kitchen day. Duke's box on the McMansion kitchen table, but his is different. The wood top is not smooth and featureless, but covered in complex puzzles. He talks on speakerphone.
What is this thing? My mom already broke it.
It's a stereogram.
She did something to it, and it opened up. I don't know. She broke it. Ma!
It's a stereogram, I told you!
Lionel's eyes widen as she runs his hands over the patterned wooden grain surface.
Stereogram.
A whatagram? Wait, a stereogram. Were those
the magic eye things? I could never do those.
Ah! Why'd I tell you about touching my stuff?
Lionel brings his fingers close to his eyes so they cross, then moves it away. The pattern on the wood grain doubles and blurs, then focuses and comes together like a magic eye painting, forming a large 3D arrow shape. He presses his finger just under the tip of the arrow. A hidden button in the wood depresses with a click, and the top of the box slides open with a magic fluidity, revealing 4 quadrants with intricate puzzles, 3 covered with fine gold mesh. Lionel's eyes gleam with childlike wonder.
Oh, wow.
Cut to the gang works together, solving the puzzles one by one. The first is a checkered board with 3 colored marbles arranged to it.
You group them by color, maybe?
For size, weight, should I weigh them?
8 by 8. It's a chessboard. This is a chess end game. It's it's set up for mate and 1. Should I?
Do it, Kasparkov.
He slides one of the marbles to checkmate with the same graceful fluidity. One of the gold mesh coverings slips away, revealing the next puzzle. Begin a brief solving montage, a completed tic-tac-toe grid with an F to the left of it and a small telegraph key tapping device.
It's tic-tac-toe. I know this.
But it's solved already. It can't be. Thank you for contributing, Birdie.
It's tic-tac-toe.
Thank you, Birdie.
Wait, the tapper thing. It's for Morse code. The X's and O's are dots and dashes.
Oh, bits and dots. There's an O and U R 4, which is here.
It's tic-tac-toe.
He taps 4 dots and a dash, and the next screen opens, a sliding tile puzzle. They all dive in, slowly revealing a large capital N.
Is something supposed to happen?
Maybe it stands for something. Maybe in one of those other puzzles.
Without turning from the sink, Duke's mom.
It's a compass.
Ma!
Fuck you.
North. The whole thing's a compass. Turn it. What's true north? Where are we? Oh, this way.
Spinning the box so it faces north, jangling the bit, and the final mesh slides open, revealing the workings of a music box. In addition, 4 little bars pop up on the 4 top edges of the box. The music box starts to play a classical tune.
It's music, guys. It's music. It's music.
Are you mocking me?
Yes.
All right, ha ha. I'm gonna Shazam it.
Birdie loudly talks into a large white cube on the table.
Alexa, Shazam this song, please. Alexa, Shazam this song, please. Alexa, Shazam this song, please.
Yo-Yo Ma, eating a slice of pizza, leans over to Peg.
Ah, that's Bach's Little Fungi in G minor.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Listen.
I'm Shazamming it.
A fungi is a beautiful musical puzzle based on one tune, and when you layer this tune on top of itself, it starts to change and turns into a beautiful new structure.
Birdie realizes.
This can't Shazam, it's a lamp.
I love you, Birdie.
I love you too.
Wait, layered back over itself. Hold on. See that center wheel? Lift it up.
The entire top layer pops up like an album of a turntable on a center spoke. It starts spinning and settles, revealing 4 new puzzles.
Whole new tune.
Freaking Miles, man. Genius.
That first one's the Fibonacci sequence.
Ma!
Montage, puzzle pieces sliding, abacus tiles being calculated, color filters arising over illuminated suns, gold mesh opening, 3 more puzzles solved by our group as the excitement mounts. Finally.
47 for sure?
That's the atomic number of silver. That's definitely silver.
That's silver. So this is it?
They all set number tumblers beneath a mounted chunk of silver to 47. Simple switch below the tumblers.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
They all flip the final switch. The top of the box splits down the middle and parts, revealing a central chamber covered with a wooden dome. This dome then opens like a flower in a time lapse, beautifully revealing a recess with a blue index card size note inside. With hush ah, Claire, Lionel, Duke, and Birdie all take your notes and read.
My dear friends, my beautiful disruptors, my closest inner circle.
We could all use a moment of normalcy. And so you are cordially invited
For a long weekend on my private island. Ah!
Where we will celebrate the bonds that connect us. And I hope your puzzle solving skills are wedded.
Yes, 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 yes.
because you will also be competing to solve the mystery
of my murder. Travel details to come. Please forward any dietary restrictions. Love and all my kisses, Miles.
To Duke's kitchen. Duke is bubbling with excitement.
Oh my god. Ma! Where's my spear fishing gear at? I gotta pack it. Babe! Hey, babe! Get packed. Get packed.
As he leaves, Whiskey walks in and blinks at the box.
What's that?
I don't know.
Interior conference room. Lionel leans back, twirling the invite. He turns off the banks of monitors with a remote control. Interior apartment. Birdie is losing her shit, dancing around the party. Continue.
Yes.
Hard cut to interior garage. A darkened garage with moving boxes half packed. A card table has a familiar box on it, still smooth and solid and unsolved. The Love Miles card next to it. Sitting behind the table, staring blankly at the box, is a woman in her 30s. We have not met yet. Expression is unreadable. She stares at the box for a long while, and she gets up, walks out of frame. We stay with the box. Sounds like clattering. Then a few moments later, she comes back with a hammer. Without any hesitation, she smashes the box. It splinters apart, all intricate puzzles, shattering springs and latches and pieces flying everywhere. She smashes it until the breaks open entirely, revealing the invitation inside. She drops the hammer, takes the invite, sits, reads it. Something boiling behind her face, eyes brimming, maybe rage, maybe sadness, whatever it is. It stays behind her eyes, and she finishes reading and stares through the invitation for a long, long while. Cut to on an iPad screen, little robot men traverse a space station in the video game emergency meeting flashes on the screen and then discuss. Interior Benoit Blanc's apartment day.
Hold on. What's happening?
Blanc sits in his bathtub, smoking a cigar, annoyed and disinterested. On a second iPad, a Skype call with 4 of his friends.
What just happened? I'm so confused.
Blanc, I saw you go into the engine room. You're the imposter. We all know it.
I'm sorry. I don't understand this at all. So, Angie caught me, and now the game's just over.
You're thrown out of the airlock. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. I know you're saying words, but they mean nothing to me. Absolute gibberish. I think maybe this game is not my thing.
On screen, Blanc's robot spins out into space, resulting in a victory for the team.
I gotta say, the world's greatest detective, I really thought you'd be better at this.
Maybe we can try code names or quiplash.
A knocking from out an apartment somewhere.
No. Look, I appreciate you all trying to do this for me.
Hey, we're worried about you, buddy. Lockdown's not been easy for any of us. We all kill for a vacation right now. But Phillip told me you haven't left the bath in a week?
Oh, that's hyperbole.
Knocking again.
Answer that, would you?
You're not in the bath again, are you?
No. I just lose it a bit between cases anyway, and I'm really feeling insane. My mind is a fueled up racing car, and I've nowhere to drive it.
Have you tried crosswords?
I don't need puzzles or games, and the last thing I need is a vacation. I need danger, the hunt, challenge. I need a great case.
Blanc, someone's here for you.
Blanc looks off in the direction of the voice, curious.
With a box.
Shimmering water, opening title over glistening waves, tilt up to reveal exterior Grecian port town day. Hills dotted with a rustic homes, a charming hotel on the water. A long jetty juts out into the crystal blue sea. At the end of this jetty, sitting with his luggage, Benoit Blanc checks his watch. He wears a dapper face mask. Blanc is alone until an N95 masked Lionel walks up with his roller bag. stops about 20 feet from Blanc, gives him a polite nod but doesn't engage, checks his phone. Blanc waits a moment, not sure if he should say something, finally decides this is silly, and starts to say something when beep beep, the cab pulls up and deposits a masked Claire and her luggage. Lionel greets her warmly. Blanc stands, but they both ignore him, and eventually he sits again awkwardly.
Governor.
Hey, genius.
Birdie and Peg come down the jetty in a golf cart, driven by a masked bellhop from the little hotel, Louis Vuitton bag stacked in back. She wears a fashionable but totally useless lace mask.
Hello.
Claire grins tightly, leaning into Lionel.
We need to talk, just us. Maybe when we're...
I know, sure.
Then Birdie is upon them like a summer storm in a colorful silks and a huge hat.
Oh my God. We can't hug, right? Can we?
Yeah.
No.
I want to hug everyone. This feels so crazy. Hello.
Birdie. Hi, Peg. You need a hand?
With the luggage, Lionel hops forward and helps her, and the bellhop unload.
Thanks. Hi.
Did you two stay at the hotel last night? We didn't see you.
No, Birdie. We clearly just arrived.
Birdie points to Blanc, still watching silently.
But you, hello, stranger danger.
Mr. Blanc, you are stranger danger?
No, that's fine, Nikos. I don't even know what that means.
A sleek two-level boat glides up to the jetty, but Lionel squints, looking at Blanc for the first time.
Wait. Benoit Blanc?
Oh my God, Benoit Blanc, the detective. Did you solve the murder of, oh God, what's his name? That ballet dancer thing. That's you.
It is. Look, I'm obviously familiar with you all as well. Governor, Dr. Toussaint, Miss Birdie J. What an extraordinary gathering.
Before anyone can answer, a deep guttural boom like a gunshot draws your attention towards the town. Exterior Grecian Port Town Streets Day. A helmet-less, mask-less Duke roars through the narrow coastal streets on a barking motorcycle, whiskey on back. He fires a ridiculous pearl-handled gun into the air. Exterior jetty. He pulls up to the gang and hops off. Whiskey hands him his gun, which he holsters, grabs his rucksack.
Ha ha! Crew, we have arrived. The disruptors have assembled.
Duke Pook.
He hugs Birdie. When he goes for Peg, she steps away.
Nope.
Hi, Duke.
Duke.
He holds Whiskey's waist and beams, showing her off.
You all remember Whiskey, my girl?
Of course. Whiskey.
Uh-huh.
Who's that?
He nods at Blanc aggressively.
Why are you in Greece, Mr. Blanc?
Well, I'm assuming, like all of us, I was invited by Miles Braun.
The gang exchange confused looks. Duke weirdly suspicious.
You tight with Miles?
No, we've never met.
Oh, I get it. The murder mystery game. Benoit Blanc's gonna solve the mystery of Miles' murder. This will be fun.
Well, we'll see.
At that moment, a black SUV pulls up swiftly and an efficient man in sportswear pops out, speaks efficiently.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Greece. That fine craft will take you to Mr. Braun's Island, 2-hour journey. Your captain, Mr. Andino, will assist you with your luggage.
A burly captain, Mr. Andino, lumbers down the gangplank and starts lugging the bags onto the board with a grunt. The efficient man wields a strange-looking gun-shaped device.
But first, would you each lower your mask and extend your tongues? This will be momentarily uncomfortable.
He starts with Birdie, aims the gun's nozzle into her throat, and shoots a burst of compressed mist with a sharp pss. She gags. He gives her a white rubber wristband.
Whew. What?
Mr. Cody?
There's no pineapple on that. Duke don't dance with pineapple.
No pineapple. Open, please.
One more way to get their mysterious praise. Blanc and Claire wait at the end of the line.
Seems I'm odd man out. You're all friends?
Miles does these reunion weekends once a year, some nutso invitation, an extravagant trip, and his, little menagerie. Excuse me, I love your accent. I just had to try it. Oh, shit.
I see.
Claire turns to get her spray. She gags. Birdie slips his next to Blanc.
8 years of these trips. You're the first new person he's ever invited. You must be very special. I love this material. What is it?
He's touching his very normal shirt.
Cotton, I think.
Sir,
What is that?
open, please.
Blanc does, spray, gag. He goes to replace his mask, but
You won't need that anymore. You're good.
I won't.
Good.
So is it? What was
You're good.
Okay.
Have a great trip, everyone.
Blanc, unbelieving, nudges Claire, massages his throat. They're all filing up the gangplank when a tooting horn gets their attention. A Greek taxi pulls up, and a woman who smashed the box gets out when a small suitcase looks up at them all. Blanc watches the gang, whose jaws collectively drop. Every single one of them looks like they've just seen a ghost. Birdie waves and smiles hollowly at the woman.
Andi, hi. Holy shit.
The efficient man greets the woman that Birdie called Andi and gives her the spray. Blanc takes us all in. Interior boat at sea day. The boat cuts through emerald sun-spangled waters, our whole gang aboard. Blanc meanders over to Lionel, who leans on a rail.
I could not help but notice a stir at her arrival.
Andi on the deck below them, alone.
Andi? Yeah, that was a stir.
She not in your little gang?
She was. She is. Andi started out 10 years ago with Miles. Just the two of them.
That's Cassandra Brand?
Andi, yeah.
Are they no longer partners?
With one legal move, he cut her out completely. Booted her without a dime. Social networked her.
Lord. But he still invited her to this weekend.
The real question isn't why he'd invite her. Why did she show up?
Blanc looks down at Andi, framed against the glittering sea. Exterior Greek island day, aerial shot, the boat approaches a very small island with one single compound built on it. Exterior beach day, as the boat approaches the small spit of sand, a glimmering glass-like dock with ironic political art on it magically rises piece by piece from the sea. Interior boat, Lionel with Captain Andino regarding the dock.
Wow. Is that dock a Banksy?
Pete Chite.
Is that the island in Greek?
Pete Chite.
Pisha shit.
Exterior beach. As the boat nuzzles up to the dock, we reveal a man sitting in a beach chair playing guitar. Barefoot in beach clothes, with an easy manner and charisma, Miles Braun plucks Blackbird and watches his friends arrive, then stands to greet them with a warm smile.
Miles, with your island.
She runs to his arms, big swinging hug.
Baby Birdie.
Serenading us with my song.
On the guitar Poe wrote it on. I know, legit, right? But look at your face. It was worth it.
Birdie's jaw drops at this holy relic. Miles sees everyone else coming in, and he tosses the guitar onto his beach chair.
My friends, old friends.
Can we, after the Men in Black thing, can we hug now?
We can hug. Magical words, right? We can hug now.
They do, Duke and Whiskey next.
Hey, buddy. This is a dream.
They do a percussive backslap hug.
Not a dream. Wide awake, and it feels so good. Whiskey.
Hey,
I love that necklace.
this old thing.
Miles hugs Whiskey just a little too long. Duke averts his eyes and quickly.
Benoit Blanc, huh? Man, when you throw a murder mystery party, you do it right.
Lionel and Blanc coming up to the beach. Lionel gives Miles a quick hug.
Hey, pal.
Mr. Braun, I cannot overstate my gratitude for your invitation.
I'm so happy to meet.
But Miles' eyes are already looking past him.
Andi, you're here.
She stares back coldly.
I am.
All right. When's the murder start?
Patience, just a little patience. Let's all abbreviate this moment. Old friends. We've got quite a weekend coming. I love you all. I wanted to say that.
Miles takes a moment. A guy in his 30s with a very Cateau Kalen vibe strolls nonchalantly past with a Corona.
We got a great weekend. Just our gang. Just us.
Hey,
Hey, Derol.
I'm not here.
Who's that?
That's Derol. He's just staying here. He's going through some stuff. He's not part of the experience at all. All right. First, a proper tour of the glass onion.
With a gleam in his eye, he leads them into the compound.
Glass onion like our bar. Oh, I love that.
Blanc lingers, looking back at the boat.
Should we get our bags? No, someone will. Okay.
Everyone ignores him and walks after Miles, except Andi, who falls in step beside him. She eyes his discomfort and says a statement of fact.
This rich people shit is weird.
Blanc's relief is palpable.
Thank you. Look, I've occasionally put on the dog in my life, but this is stretching my stride-taking abilities.
You're doing great. I'm Andi.
Very genial of you. Benoit.
You've a flat tire there.
Oh.
His shoelace. He stops to tie it. Exterior villa compound. Meanwhile, up ahead, the gang walks up a gentle, tired series of landings, climbing into the compound, a mixture of, Bond villain lair and Mediterranean villa. They just turned a corner into a broad, open courtyard and had their first real view of the palace's defining feature. Perched at the top of a grand, gently sloped staircase, the main building is a massive orb of glass. It sits like a crown atop of the entire complex.
Wow. It's like an actual huge glass onion.
Nope.
Yeah, it's past, present, future, what came before me, what I am, what I leave to the world.
Derol walking by in the background.
Nor me.
This is the full reclamation of everything I've ever accomplished up until now.
Blanc and Andi joined them, exchange a look at Miles's oration.
How big a staff does it take to run this place?
This weekend, it's just us. Sent them all home. This is a normal weekend with old friends.
In the background, Boston Dynamics robot dogs waddle by with everyone's luggage on their backs.
I don't want this to be some rich asshole's house. It's not even a house. It's a commune for creativity.
Andi stabs a grin. A low dong sounds over the complex.
What was that?
An hourly chime. I had full glass compose it to keep me centered in time. Speaking of, let's start experiencing this place together. The rooms are named after chakras. Your biorhythm is your key. Get changed, settle, and let's have an afternoon by the pool before the real party begins.
All their white wristbands start glowing a different color and chakra name. For instance, Birdie says sacral. The various villas around the complex emit a soft, color-coded glow into the air above them.
Sacral, you know me, Miles.
Everyone takes it in stride and parts with kind words of their rooms.
Andi, I really am glad you're here.
She gives them an unreadable look and walks off. Then,
well, I'm sorry. That is crazy.
Mr. Blanc, can I have a word?
interior glass onion day, Miles leads Blanc into the office in the huge dome of the glass onion.
Amazing. Just amazing. All this. Look, I'm so happy to be included. And if there's some role you'd like me to play in this murder mystery game as the detective, I'm happy to oblige. Just very happy to be included and meet you. Is that a motor car?
To the back of the onion, portion of the platform high on the roof of an adjoining building is a gorgeous light blue Porsche.
That's my baby blue. It goes anywhere I go, all around the world.
Why is it on the roof?
Well, there's no way to drive it on the island.
Ah, of course.
Mr. Blanc, I wanted to ask, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry?
What are you doing here?
You invited me.
No, I didn't.
You sent me a box.
You received a box.
Yes, a wooden box was delivered to my home with some simple children's puzzles. And when I completed them, there was an invitation inside.
Do you have that invitation?
Blanc, shaking, digs it in his pocket and produces a familiar blue card, hands it over.
I do. Look, I thought maybe we had to show it. Or, I don't know. So I'm very confused. Is this part of the game? Or...
This is just like the others, but I didn't send you this.
Blanc has switched to another gear. His eyes grow distant.
How many of these boxes did you create?
5, one for each of my guests.
No test boxes or prototypes?
No, my puzzle guy barely got the 5 done in time. He apprenticed with Ricky J.
And once these boxes are open and the puzzle's complete, is there a way to close them again, to reset them?
Miles squints and claps his hands.
Someone reset the box and sent it to you as a gag.
Oh, I'm mortified.
Why? I've got the world's pre-definite detective at my murder mystery party. That is so legit.
Mr. Braun, I've learned through bitter experience that an anonymous invitation is not to be trifled with.
Come on.
Miles stands and makes a grand sweeping gesture.
I invite you to my home. There, done. You're invited. Relax. Enjoy the weekend. Hell, try to solve the murder mystery. If you can. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's pretty next level. I'll see you by the pool.
And Miles is gone, leaving Blanc with a deep look of concentration on his face. Exterior pool day, perched high on the property, a long infinity pool meets the sky seamlessly. Birdie makes her entrance in a fabulous swimsuit, streaming a silk robe behind her. She sits by Lionel and Claire, who sport an aggressively plain beige one-piece.
Guys, Lionel, you are too hot to be a scientist. And Claire, you look so cute.
Claire flips her off.
Oh, thanks, Bird.
You really try. That's what I like. You make an effort.
Well, I figured. Grease.
Their banter has an underlying affection to it.
God, and no masks. I can breathe again. Look at this pool. Maybe I'll go for a swim.
At that moment, Whiskey breaks the surface of the glittering water in all her young Instagram model splendor.
Maybe I'll lay out for a bit.
Enters the pool area in long shorts and a short sleeve button-up shirt. He joins Miles, Birdie, and Peg in a lounge area where Miles holds court, sipping a beer and strumming his guitar.
Oh, Blanc, I have a dip. Grab one of these. Jared Leto sent him over. Hard kombucha. Pretty good.
Well, I am on vacation.
Hey, booch me.
Miles tosses him one above the bar cart, a flashy painting of the blue Porsche.
Baby blue.
Iconic. Remember you almost pancaked me with it on the road that
Anderson
night?
Cooper's birthday. Yeah, Coop's parties are memorable.
In the pool, Lionel and Claire wade out in the deep end. Duke pulls himself out of the pool and does some stretches. He wears a Speedo, his gun belt and pistol dripping wet.
Really, Duke?
Duke, defiant, draws and fires his gun in the air. Everyone jumps annoyed.
Really?
Asshole.
Now it's a party.
Blanc wades into the pool with a beer, still with his shirt on. Duke sits on the pool edge, leans back in the sun.
That is quite a piece.
Never without it.
So I see.
You never know when shit's going to go down.
Blanc eyes Lionel and Claire talking animatedly in the deep end of the pool, but can't make out their conversation. Later, Birdie digs sunglasses out of her bag and lays out in the sun, keeping an eye on Miles, who plays guitar for Whiskey. Peg plops down next to Birdie and low with fervent urgency.
Birdie, you need to talk to him before dinner. You need to beg him.
I will. Oh, God.
When he goes to his room, just follow him and do it, okay?
I'll take care of him. Don't worry.
Birdie stares across the pool at Miles, flirting with Whiskey, sad rage in her eyes.
There was a time, back when I was the one who'd been on magazines. He was nobody. He couldn't believe he was talking to me. He said that you're Birdie J from the billboards. I can't believe I'm talking to you. He was this little thing in my hand. I preferred that.
Birdie lies back and notices Andi lying in the chair next to her.
Andi, hi. Wow. How long has it been?
Since a trial, so a few months.
The trial, right. Yeah, that was not fun for any of us, but for all of us, Peg, right? I'm uncomfortable. I'm going for a swim.
She unceremoniously leaves. Andi and Peg smile tightly at each other. Later, Blanc strolls out from the bathroom holding a magazine. He hears a clank and clatter on a nearby table. A fax machine spits a sheet into a large bucket. Miles retrieves it and reads it.
I can handle the Matisse in the bathroom, but is that a fax machine?
Miles doesn't have a phone.
It's really convenient. I have one number that goes to all my fax machines anywhere in the world. There's something about animals.
The magazine Blanc holds is a vintage late 90s copy of British fashion magazine Mag de Face. A teenage Birdie is on the cover with a large diamond set on her forehead.
Oh, blast from my past. Look, everybody. Miles, you are so funny keeping this around.
He closes the magazine and sets it aside as Birdie joins a small group of Blanc, Miles, and Whiskey in the shade.
Can I ask, what first drew you all together? Such an eclectic bunch.
I think disruptors recognize each other.
Yes.
You've used that word before. What does that mean?
Well, some people think Birdie is disruptive every time she opens her mouth, just because she's saying what everyone is thinking, but no one has the nerve to say.
I say it like I see it. It's true.
Seriously, you know about Sweetie Pants, right?
I'm going to embarrass myself. I adore Sweetie Pants. I live in mine.
You are sitting next to Birdie J. She was a fashion magazine. And then the youngest editor of Shishi magazine, right? Establishment BS on top of the world. But then...
Well, then there was the whole thing with the Halloween costume. It was a tribute to Beyonce. But people did not take it that way. Anyway, I had a lot of time at home and I just spent it all the time in my...
sweatpants.
She comes out with designer sweatpants, high quality, fashionable sweatpants, hitting the market just as the pandemic hit. She disrupted her own disruption. She made a killing.
Duke comes in, toweling himself off. Miles' hand, which was resting on Whiskey's knees, suddenly withdraws.
Or Duke, look at Duke. Do you think people looked at him and saw anything other than the beef? You think they saw the first gamer with 1 million followers on Twitch, invented the word influencer?
Claire and Lionel have joined the group.
Or Claire blowing up conventional politics, or Lionel pushing science past its comfort point. It's what I did with Alpha. It's disruption. That's what I did with...
Andi appears, standing behind them. Miles changes tact.
That's what we did with Alpha. I'll tell you a little secret. Your world is about to change. Once you hear it, you can unhear it. Is your phone turned off?
Oh, I left it in my room.
Okay. If you want to shake things up, start by breaking something small, a norm, an idea, a convention, some little business model. You go with things that people are kind of tired of anyway. Everybody gets excited because you are busting things up that everyone wanted broken anyway. And this is the infraction point, because this is where you have to find it in yourself to keep going. Will you break more things and bigger things and break the thing that nobody wants you to break? At that point, people will stop being on your side. They're going to say you're crazy. They'll say you're a bully. They'll tell you to stop. Even your partner will say that you need to stop because nobody wants you to break the system itself. But that is true disruption. That is what unites this group. Every single one of us has hit that point and proved that they're willing to cross it. Disruptors, all of us.
A single pair of hands clap from outside the circle. Andi, a wry smile on her face.
Bravo. That was, wow. Real red pill stuff, Miles.
Miles seems genuinely hurt.
The Angi I built Alpha with, she believed it.
Oh, I believe it. Mr. Blanc, you're a detective. Can you spot the other thing, the real thing that this group has in common?
Andi, come on.
Andi continues with an almost unhinged intensity.
Oh, Lionel, everybody knows who Lionel works for. That's no secret. And we know who bankrolled Claire's campaign. But when nobody would touch Birdie with a 10-foot pole because she went on Oprah and compared herself to Harriet Tubman.
In spirit, not... Oh, God.
Can you guess who stepped up as an angel investor in Sweetie Pants? Or when Duke got banned from Twitch for hawking rhino horn boner pills to teenage boys?
There was 0 rhino in those pills.
Who do you think set him up on YouTube and used his media empire to promote his stream? That's the real common thread here. every single one of you is holding on for dear life to Miles Braun's golden titties. And every one of you will stab a friend in the back to hold on. That is what I believe.
She storms off. Claire goes after her.
Hey, Andi, wait.
After they're gone, a moment of tense silence. Miles leans back as he's just watched a great fireworks display.
Wow, that was real. Anyway, dinner at 8. I'll see y'all there.
Miles ambles off. Duke storms off, followed by Whiskey. Lionel looks deeply troubled. A beat, then.
Like Miles said, I'm a truth teller. Some people can't handle that.
It's a dangerous thing, isn't it, to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth.
She grins flirtatiously at him.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see. If you'll excuse me.
With a charming grin, he steps away. She watches him go with a wicked grin, which then dissolves away to something else. Exterior grounds continuous. Lionel trots into a garden where he finds Claire. She's watching Andi, far off now, vanishes into the greenery.
Something's off. I don't like this.
What do you mean?
She's changed.
Claire seems afraid.
What's she playing at?
Exterior Zen garden day. Miles ambles towards his villa. Peg runs up and stops him.
Mr. Braun,
Hello.
don't do this, please. Bird showed me the statement you wanted her to make to the press about Bangladesh. And if you make her go through with it, her name is destroyed. But you see, my resume is just Birdie J. Birdie J, a short stint in retail, and then Birdie J. So, see, if her name is destroyed, then my name is
I'm sorry.
Peg.
I'm begging you. You gotta make her make the statement. It's her only way out.
He smiles reassuringly and walks off, leaving Peg smoldering with anger. Reveal Blanc lingering behind a statue, eavesdropping. Peg narrows her eyes and walks off. We stick with Blanc, who also processes all this. He walks into a strange, beautiful grounds, past gardens and art installations, deep in thought. As beautiful as it all is, a sense of foreboding hangs in the gloaming. On the crest of a hill, he catches a glimpse of Duke jogging. Blanc removes a slender cigar from his shirt pocket and lights it. No sooner has he exhaled one puff when lights start blinking in the trees around him and a sharp alarm sounds.
This is a smokeless garden. This is a smokeless garden.
Blanc tries to wipe the smoke away, but it all continues. He panics and tosses the cigar in a nearby pond. The pond then lights up red and another alarm sounds.
Please keep our water clean. Please keep our water clean. Please.
Blanc assesses the situation and then flees. Exterior grounds, Duke runs and spots something slow, stops, hunches, and creeps without making a noise. He sees behind the bushes close to a picture window into a villa bedroom. With half-drawn blinds, two people are kissing and talking on a bed. Miles and Whiskey. A twig snaps behind Duke. He looks back, nothing there. Turns back to the window. About 20 yards behind him, hidden as well, Blanc's head rises up. He wrinkles his nose at the spectacle, then looks at Duke, watching the pair who still kiss and speak. Rage on his face, twisting branches in his clenched fist, next to his holstered gun, not liking this at all. Blanc silently withdraws. Exterior, the glass onion evening. The central glass structure looms soft white, bathing the grounds in a welcoming aura as the sunset's final glow dissipates. The hourly chime dawns. Interior atrium evening. The main floor of the glass onion structure, a wide open space with a central entryway, a very 70s feeling lounge area with inset couches and a dining table, but a spectacular view. The guests filter in and Miles greets them, drink in hand and an unlit pipe in his mouth.
Welcome, gang. Some pre-murder drinks. I've mixed everyone's favorites, and we've got tamales.
A stacked bar cart with fixed drinks on top. Each glass has the guest's name elaborately etched on it. Lionel takes his wryly and sips.
My chemist?
Lagavulin, 16.
He likes it heavy on the fever.
Serve it up neat.
Blanc goes for the snack tray with mini tamales and hot sauce, loading one up. Birdie takes her tall yellow fruity drink.
Is this my Cuban breeze?
It's the drink that got us on the no-fly list at St. Bart's. What else?
Hashtag worth it.
Claire Bear, room temp white.
Halle Berry, that has a kick.
Oh, that's Jeremy Renner's small batch hot sauce. I let him invest. He sends in like a pallet every year.
Miles tosses Blanc a few bottles of the hot sauce, which Blanc awkwardly holds for a while, then, not knowing what to do with them, puts them in his jacket pocket.
And I apologize. I don't know your drink, but I have everything here. Pick your poison. Hey, Andi, I'm hoping it's still whiskey soda.
Andi slipped in a chill goes to the room, and Lionel and Claire turn their attention anywhere else they can. Front and center in the main entryway, small frame with very familiar painting behind glass.
Okay, I know your whole thing with it, but this place is like the Tate Modern. Why would you hang a framed print of the Mona Lisa front and center? It's like the Che poster in a dorm room.
Miles grins in silence for a long beat.
Or
Lionel laughs.
Come on.
Miles just keeps grinning. Lionel, Blanc, Peg, Claire, and even Andi's jaws drop, and they step towards the painting in a trance.
That's impossible, Miles.
Miles has a red button on a pedestal, and with a distinct stink, the glass case slides away, leaving the Mona Lisa open and exposed in all her glory. Everyone is awestruck.
Forgive my incredulity, but it's property of the state. There's no way they would...
blame it on the Pando, Blanc. Louvre's closed, France needs money, and so I bought myself a little short-term loan. You know, it turns out the security and transport cost more than anything. Check this out.
He takes a silver lighter from his pocket and clicks it. An 8-inch long blue flame spears out above his pipe. And though he's a good distance back, the protective glass instantly sinks back into place. Miles laughs. With his flame still lit, he hits the red button and the glass reopens.
Don't tell the insurance guys, but I had an override button put in. Where do you think it is?
Miles pushes down on the figurine of a little jester boy.
It's so freaking sensitive. A phone dings and it closes up. But I had to be able to look in her eyes, nothing between us. My mom took me to Paris when I was 6 years old. When I looked in this lady's eyes, it changed my life. You know, Da Vinci invented a technique for brush strokes that leaves no lines. That's how her expression changes when you look straight at her. Try it. Her smile disappears. Is she happy, sad, something else? This simple thing you thought you were looking at takes on layers and depth so complex they give you vertigo.
Andi stares deeply into her eyes, caught up in spite of herself.
It really is something.
In the back, Derol walks by in the bathrobe eating cereal, nods to the painting.
Classic. Hey, I'm not here.
Claire has realized something. Can't hear you, Claire.
You know, every time we've gotten to the point where I'm going to strangle you, you pull something like this and it's magic. Thank you.
Look, it all started with her. What did I say to you guys? That first night we all hung out at the Glass Onion. What did I say? I want to be responsible for something that gets mentioned in the same breath as the Mona Lisa forever.
And what does that mean?
It means immortality. He wants to create something that will just...
Wait a minute, Miles. Why do you have the Mona Lisa in your living room?
Then raises a closed fist and looks at Andi.
In 1 week, I have invited 12 world leaders and members of the press to this island. And right here, I will unveil the future.
Miles opens his fist. In the palm, a milk-white crystal about the size of a quarter.
Do you know what this is?
No, damn well we do. What's going on?
I don't.
Miles tosses the crystal to Blanc.
That's a new solid hydrofuel. Radically efficient, zero carbon emissions, derived from abundant seawater. I call it CLEAR, with a K. And at this event, we will announce Clear America, our affordable home power solution. Clear is going to be powering people's dreams all over this country by the end of this year.
Lionel sets his drink down sharply. At this clack, the glass shakes down in front of the Mona Lisa.
No, because I was clear with you. I told you I need 2 years minimum to test the stuff and even see if this stuff is safe or even valuable. Claire and I are not going to be responsible for putting something out in the world before it is tested. Oh, hell no.
Lionel has clocked Miles' steady grin. Miles gestures grandly all around him.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But you're running this entire place off of this?
All of it. All this awesome lighting, the heating, and the cooling, right down to my fax machine. The whole glass onion, it's all powered by Clear.
Lionel and Claire suddenly look like they're standing on very thin ice.
Oh my God, Miles.
Guys, we did it.
I'm out. Done. This is reckless. And you are going to get somebody killed.
You're not getting out. It's already happening. I love you. Let's eat.
He ambles off towards the dining room area. Duke enters with whiskey trailing behind him. Aggressive energy looks ruefully at Miles walking off. In clear dining area minutes later, our gang seated at their plates, which are elaborately embossed with their names. Claire and Lionel look sick. Birdie and Peg look sullen. Duke looks furious, especially because the place settings have whiskey seated right next to Miles. Blanc and Andi have been added in at the end next to each other.
Okay, gang, it's been a memorable weekend already, and now the real fun starts. We've got 3 days. We'll be basking in the sun, the pool. We'll swim in the Ionian Sea. Great food and wine in each other's company. But alongside and underneath the party, you've been charged with a serious task. Because tonight, in this very room, a murder will be committed. My murder. You will have to observe the crime carefully, use your knowledge of each other, and keep your eyes sharp. I planted clues throughout the grounds. Some may be helpful, some may misdirect. It's up to you to decide. If, by the end of the weekend, somebody is able to name the murderer, tell how they accomplished it, and what their motive was, you will win the game. Any questions?
Blanc with childlike excitement.
What do we win?
Everyone looks at him. Miles is cut off.
I mean, what do you want?
Oh, no, nothing. I thought maybe there was a prize or something. I don't know. An iPad.
A fine. Winner gets an iPad. Okay.
Once you're dead, will we still be able to talk to you?
Oh, yeah. I'm not playing dead the whole weekend. Ask me anything you want, but don't expect help from me.
I don't actually need an iPad. When you said win, it made me think.
Can we work together?
Only one person can solve the crime. So if you have a theory, keep it close to your chest. It is designed to be hard. It will take the whole weekend.
Truly delightful. Have we started already?
Well, the murder hasn't happened yet, but yeah.
Okay.
Why not, as Watson said to Holmes?
It was Birdie who planted a remote device on the crossbow in revenge for you stealing her signature Ren diamond.
Blanc grins broadly with a "did I get it" gesture. A beat of silence. The smile on Miles's face calcifies and dies.
See, the seating arrangement, it triangulates Birdie perfectly to that thing.
A crystal suit of armor holding a working crossbow leveled at the dining table,
which is loaded with a dummy bolt and aimed straight at Mr. Braun. I believe close inspection will reveal some sort of remote triggering device, but more damning, it's a vintage Jayhawk brand crossbow. Jayhawk, Birdie J. Of course, there are other superfluous and rather clumsy clues. The hedgerows in the South Garden spell the letter B. Her room is the sacral chakra, which is the one blocked by guilt, blah, blah, blah. But the motive, yes, now the motive. On the cleverly planted 1998 issue of The Face with Birdie on the cover, she famously wore what has become known as the Ren diamond. A family heirloom, I believe.
And so to be clear, back then, I didn't know what a blood diamond was, so...
Blanc is on a mighty roll.
Mr. Braun, the large pendulous locket which has not left your neck, it's a bit out of keeping with your breezy island lifestyle. Would you kindly open it for us?
Staring daggers, Miles opens the silver locket and a large cut diamond falls out into his palm. Table gasps.
My Ren diamond!
A dramatic, passionate, and colorful crime for a fashionista, Miss Birdie. But unfortunately, this crime clashed with the presence of Benoit Blanc.
With nailed it joy, he turns to Miles and grins broadly. Miles stares at him dead-eyed. A little word from the crossbow prop and a theatrical crossbow bolt flips up from slit in Miles' shirt with an anticlimactic snap. Fake blood dribbles out. The glass on the Mona Lisa sticks shut. Interior glass Sunday evening. Miles' office in the center of the elevated glass enclosure with spectacular views in all directions. Miles storms in, Blanc following him, still giddy.
My God, that felt so good. That just felt solid, so satisfying. Just like a mini crossword the Times has. I have a chef friend, and she speaks of trying to create the perfect bite. That felt like perfect, satisfying, bite-sized.
Miles just stares, the crossbow bolt still protruding from his chest. He picks up a loose iPad from his desk and tosses it over to Blanc.
You're angry.
No, I'm not angry, Blanc, but you know, what the hell? This was not a simple thing to do to set up. I hired Gillian Flynn to help come up with the whole thing.
She's quite good.
She's goddamn expensive is what she is. What are we going to do now? Play Yahtzee all weekend?
Blanc looks at Miles, and his demeanor changes as if he's now dropping an act.
Mr. Braun, the truth is I ruined your game on purpose, and for a very good reason.
Miles looks at him curious. What is this?
I like the glass onion as a metaphor. An object that seems densely layered, but in reality, the center is in plain sight. Your relationship with these people may seem complex, but look at the center. Look at what you've done this weekend. It's crystal clear. You've taken 7 people, each of whom has a real-life reason to wish you harm, gathered them together on a remote island, and placed the idea of your murder in their heads. It's like putting a loaded gun on the table and turning off the lights.
Oh, come on.
So you played hardball with Lionel, threatened to destroy his reputation if he does not play along and power a manned rocket with Claire?
Miles looks at him stolidly.
And with Claire, too. And perhaps you threatened to support her opponent in the upcoming election if she doesn't approve your power plan?
You've done some homework.
Birdie, Bangladesh, Sweetie Pants are manufactured there in a sweatshop. You're making Birdie take the fall to cover your ass as the main investor. And Duke. Well, we all know why Duke wants to kill you.
He doesn't know about that.
Yes, he does. Look, take my presence as a sign. Something is happening here beneath the surface. For at least one person on this island, this is not a game.
Blanc spots a frame on the wall. Mounted inside are 2 objects on red backing, a faded napkin with a simple diagram drawn in it in pen, and a Polaroid picture of Miles and Andi, 10 years younger, holding the napkin blown out by the flash. In a bar, flanking them is a young Duke, Lionel, Claire, and Birdie. Above them, all a neon sign, the glass onion.
This is the famous napkin. I've heard the story.
I scribbled down the original idea for Alpha on that napkin that night with Andi at the Glass Onion. That was our local bar. That's where it all began. They tore it down the year after that.
Andi's smiling face in the photo. Blanc would wait.
Oh, Andi.
Yes. Andi.
Andi used to tell me the truth. Nobody does that now. Nobody does. It's all fake smiles and agendas. People wanting what they think they're owed. Hating you for not giving it to them. Because that's what you're there for. I know. Hard to have sympathy for the poor, tortured billionaire.
The gang in the photo smiling, flashlit one moment.
God, I miss that bar.
Blanc can see Miles going to a sad, dark place. Interior lounge area at night. Miles' empty whiskey tumbler on the table. Claire stares at it. Everyone is drinking heavily. Their plates of finished dinner casually on the coffee table. Music plays. Duke's phone on the coffee table dings with an alert, and Mona Lisa sticks shut.
You could just power down.
It's my Google alerts. I've got one for all you guys. Whiskey, sports I like, general interests.
Ding! Shtick. Lionel looks at Duke's phone.
You have a Google alert for the word movie?
Birdie sachets back from the bar cart with a fresh Cuban breeze.
Well, God bless Benoit Blanc. We don't have to spend the weekend spelling hedges.
I'm leaving in the morning.
We just got here.
You can stay. Have fun.
Fine, you're murdering my vibe.
Ding! Shtick.
I hate saying this in any context, but I'm a Duke.
Claire's phone rings. Devon, her husband, she ignores it.
Or we can all get drunk and enjoy paradise for a weekend.
Maybe we should go too.
No. Miserable in paradise. We've all earned this.
Yes, you have.
The chills in the air, but Claire stares back hard at her, angry drunk.
Are we even going to talk about the elephant in the room, or are we just going to toss a tablecloth over it and make it through the weekend?
Uncomfortable silence.
Am I the elephant?
Yes, you're the elephant.
Not that bad.
What did you come here for, Andi? Given the circumstances, I think that's a fair question.
Fair.
Oh, God, yes, no, fine. Nothing is fair about any of this. Congratulations, now you know. We all are stuck with Miles. And what do you want? You want to know why we did it? What? Really? Do you know the math? It's easy math. And and you, here in your Gucci flats.
Valentino.
Telling us we owe you. You made money off the Alpha, and all those years, and you did fine. You got yours.
No, he got his from me. My life was taken from me by someone, by everyone here. My life. Do you even know what that means?
What Claire's saying is we're all sorry and feel bad for you, but what do you want?
Are you really asking me that?
Yes, what do you want? You want to check a performative pity? Are there some right words for us to say that we all can get along with our lives? You want revenge? Slit Miles's throat. Take us all down. What? Drop your bombshell. Say it.
I want the truth.
Ding stick.
I want the truth.
I can give you that. I'll be the asshole. The truth is, we're all holding on to that golden tit. We're all playing the same game here, honey, and you lost. Go on. Get up on your cross. You had some unspeakable crime committed against you that none of us could ever imagine. Go on. I'm done pretending you're the victim in this game. No, you just couldn't hack it. You're the loser. There. The truth.
He stares Andi down. She looks around at the others. They all avoid her gaze. She lowers her eyes, and walks out.
There's the Andi I know.
Ding stick. He picks up his phone and buries himself in it angrily. Miles and Blanc breeze in.
Oh, geez, detective, your next assignment is who killed this party? I'm gone for 10 minutes. What happened? Come on, guys.
He puts on some music and starts dancing. Claire goes to the bar cart.
Excuse me.
Blanc ruined my game. It's okay. Hey, Alpha DJ, give us something upbeat.
Miles, I'm going to leave in the morning.
Me too.
No, you're not. You're going to have a champagne brunch on the beach and try hydrofoil surfing. Claire, you're going to put some aloe on that. Work on that tan so your constituents start saying, what was she doing in lockdown? Come on, guys. Dance with me, pretty lady.
Birdie reluctantly joins in him. Blanc watches all this, strangely alert.
Where's Andi?
Yeah, where is Andi? And Duke, look at that face. Duke, would you get some good news?
Duke is indeed grinning levelly at Miles. He motions to his phone.
I wondered why my googs were blowing up. Reviews on my channel are off the charts. You've got to see this.
Miles sashays over and Duke shows him his phone.
This is all over the internet. Look at those numbers. Pure fire.
Stick.
This changes things, right?
It sure does.
Dookie, that's amazing. Let me see.
She goes to him, but he's on his feet, eyes locked on Miles.
Numbers like this? Maybe we can talk Alpha News?
Miles goes to the bar cart and fixes a drink, hips swinging.
I think we can. You see, everything works out in the end. You just got to keep the faith.
He dances and spreads his arm for Lionel and Claire.
Guys, have I ever let you down? Not pulled through, not pulled it off? You're staying. Yes, you're staying, okay?
All right, Miles. You win.
Yes. Yeah.
Miles sits next to Duke.
Well, all right. This is our time. What did we used to say? Fake it until you make it. We are all changing the world. All of us. Making dents in our own ways. 5 minutes ago, Blanc here was telling me this weekend was a dumb idea, that you all hated my guts so badly that one of you would actually want to. It doesn't even matter. It's so silly. Look at that. Birdie, do that again. Look at that dress spin.
When Birdie does a spin, the dress shimmers and seems to change color.
Everybody, Miles says, look at me.
I want a toast. Let's drink to the disruptors, the OGs.
Duke stands, drink in hand.
To the disruptors, breaking it and making it.
Everyone raises their glass and drinks.
Turn up the music. We're all ending up in the pool tonight.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lionel's smile has vanished.
Miles.
On your feet, genius.
Claire stands in horror.
Miles, Duke.
They all turn. Duke grasps at his throat, staggering, his face purple. For a horrible moment, nobody moves. Duke drops his crystal tumbler and falls to his knees. He screams. Pandemonium erupts. Everyone scrambling, trying to help. Lionel lays the convulsing Duke on his back. Blanc reaches into his mouth to clear his airway.
Is he choking?
Get him water. Give him air.
He's not choking.
Duke, buddy.
Duke's eyes bulge beet red. His chest heaves up in a final horrible convulsion and then, very suddenly, stops, frozen, eyes open. Lionel tries chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth, but everyone backs away, somewhere how aware that it's over. Whiskey throws herself on Duke as Lionel backs off. In shock, Blanc checks Duke's pulse. Nothing.
I'm afraid Mr. Cody is dead.
What the hell just happened?
Oh my god, oh my god.
What happened? Did he choke on something? What happened?
There's no obstruction in his airway. We don't know the exact cause of death without an autopsy, but Mr. Braun, will you call the boat and have them come immediately? Mr. Braun.
Miles has sunk into a chair and looks catatonic, just staring at Duke in shock.
I'll do it. How do I do it?
There's radio room through there.
Tell them we need medical personnel and police.
Lionel dashes off. Blanc pulls Whiskey gently away from Duke's body. She breaks down and sobs and slips out.
I must insist that nobody touch the body or disturb anything around.
Wait, police? Are you treating this as a crime scene?
My God, I can't be here. This is bad. I can see the headlines.
The police always come. It's standard.
Jetting off to Greece during a pandemic with a men's rights YouTuber who dies. Oh, God, I'm going to puke.
No. Blanc, are you saying you think this was intentional?
Don't know. Mr. Cody's death was so acute and violent. My guess is something was put in his drink. Intentionally.
A beat while this sinks in. Interior radio room continues. Lionel on a sleek communication on computer type to the main line. He speaks to the boat captain, Mr. Andino.
What do you mean morning? How is that possible?
Pizza chite. Doc. Pizza chite.
Piece of shit. Shit. Oh.
Interior lounge area. Lionel runs in.
The boat can't come till low tide. In the morning, 6 a.m. at the earliest.
Did you explain the situation?
There's no other landing point, and Miles' dumbass Banksy dock was set to low tide height, and it isn't buoyant. It's a piece of shit.
All right, look, I suggest we all retire to our rooms and keep the doors locked until 5:30, when we will convene here and walk together to the dock. I will stay up all night with the body to make sure it isn't tampered with in any way. I'd recommend everyone else get some sleep.
As Blanc is saying this, Miles looks at Claire placing a blanket over Duke's contorted face, and he sees something else. The sound in the room goes fuzzy. His peripheral vision blurs. Everything focuses on one object and what it means. The crystal tumbler that Duke drank from and dropped on the floor by his hand. The name beautifully etched in its side, Miles.
Oh, that is...
Miles points in horror and everyone looks.
That's your glass, Miles.
Blanc kneels, looks at the tumbler, and looks back at Miles, who barely breathes.
He picked it up by mistake.
Flashback. As Miles chairs on Birdie, spinning in her dress, Duke reaches without looking for his glass and grabs Miles instead. Back to the scene, Miles looks at the faces around the room like a frightened child. Instinctively, he moves behind Blanc, as if for protection.
Mr. Braun.
Miles, come on now.
Miles, it's us.
Miles, baby, for real?
I beat looking him all over and into Blanc.
I will pay you $1 billion to find who tried to kill me.
Miles!
Ding stick. Blanc's sighs wary.
I'm just going to silence his phone.
When he steps away from Miles, Miles moves around behind the sofa.
We're staying right here in this room. I'm keeping you all in plain sight until that boat comes.
God's sake, Miles.
Wait, where's Whiskey? Where's Andi?
He spins as if afraid someone's behind him, jumpy and petrified.
Where's Duke's phone?
It just dinged. We heard it.
But it isn't in his pockets.
Maybe he dropped it somewhere. If it dings again, we'll find it.
Lionel steps forward, gravely points.
Forget his phone. Look.
Blanc lifts Duke's jacket, his hip holster empty.
Where's his stupid gun?
Oh, fiddlesticks. When did his gun disappear?
He always has his gun.
He always has it, which means we stopped seeing it. But at some point this evening, it was gone. We need to find Andi.
Miles goes into full panic mode, scampering around the room, trying to take cover in a wide open space. A distant dong shtick, Miles jumps a foot.
Mr. Braun, it's all right. It's the Phillip glass thing.
If it's possible, Miles grows 3 shades more ashen.
Oh no.
Checks his watch, 10 p.m.
Oh no. Oh shit. Oh no.
Miles, calm down.
Mr. Braun, what's the matter?
Miles grabs Blanc's leg while full panic, babbling.
It was part of the game. It was the game, the murder game. We were going to be having drinks, and I thought it would be fun to say something dramatic just at 10 o'clock, and then have 20 minutes where, oh God, Blanc, help.
Blanc slaps him firmly.
What happens at 10 o'clock?
With a whole snap, every light in the entire complex shuts off, plunging in the atrium into total darkness. Exterior to glass onion night, the entire complex goes dark. A moment later, the island's lighthouse sweeps its hard white light across the grounds. Interior and atrium night, pitch black, just splinters of shapes from the moonlit windows. The white light of the lighthouse sweeps the room, and like a strobe light catching a single frame of a tableau, we see Miles on his knees, arms wrapped around Blanc's legs, everyone else scattered around the room.
Oh.
Then all is black again. We hear voices in the dark.
Lionel! I'm here.
Ding shtick.
Ah, Peg, is that you?
No, I'm here. Where's my phone? It has a flashlight.
Above it all, Miles whimpering in a panic whine.
I can't be.
Everybody calm down. Look, stand still and do not panic.
With the next flash of light, Whiskey stumbles in, holding, for some reason, a spear fishing gun.
It was Andi. She killed Duke and tore our room apart. I saw her.
What?
Miles shrieks.
Not today.
And runs.
Mr. Braun, oh, hell's bells. Everybody stay here.
Blanc dashes after him. Interior hallways night. Miles runs, stops listening, eyes darting everywhere. As the light sweeps in the blackened hall, we see Miles in the distance turn a corner. In the foreground, Andi spotting him, somewhere far away.
Andi!
She looks at Blanc's voice. She looks back at Blanc's voice as the light catches her. Interior atrium night. In the darkness, Peg's phone's flashlight comes on. Its weak light doesn't pierce the vast space, but she waves it around.
Bird, I got it. Birdie? Lionel?
No one answers. The light sweeps the vast room. Peg is alone.
Guys?
Interior hallways night, where Miles moving slowly in the darkness, barely breathing, light sweeps, shadows in the hallway, hard to tell what they are. He slows his breath, listening. The darkness looms around him. Interior kitchen night. Blanc enters just as a dark shape exits.
Who's that?
No answer. Footsteps pad away, using his phone flashlight to peer around. He spots the butcher's block on the kitchen island. One knife, obviously missing.
Lord help us.
The light sweeps, revealing the shadow of a running figure on the wall. He turns. Someone just ran past the window outside. Exterior grounds night. Blanc runs outside, turns, and is almost run over by the running figure, Andi. In the jostle, we think we hear,
"Hello?"
Andi runs to Blanc.
"Did you take Duke's gun?"
Why would I take Duke's gun? And why are the lights?
"Duke is dead."
What?
Interior hall night, dark through the floor to ceiling windows we see but don't hear Blanc and Andi right outside talking fast and low. The light sweeps, revealing, held in the foreground by a gloved hand, Duke's gun. In the darkness that falls, a shape moves, a silhouette silent against the moonlit window. The figure raises an arm, the shape of Duke's gun held out steady. The figure takes very careful aim at the two outside. Exterior grounds continuous. Blanc and Andi oblivious. The window pitch black behind them.
I don't understand.
"Please, trust me. It's all in plain sight. I only need one last piece of information, and only you can..."
Bang! Several things happen at once. The window behind him cracks like a safety glass, splintering out like a spider web from a central bullet hole. Andi's body flies out of frame as if hit by a hammer. Interior, the glass onion. The empty halls, rooms, the gunshot echoes and reverberates. Interior atrium. Shtick. The glass lines down over the Mona Lisa just as the light sweeps over her. Linger on her enigmatic face. Maybe smiling, maybe not. It's hard to tell. We stay on it as we hear footsteps throughout the distant halls and echoey voices.
Lionel?
Guys, where are you? Did you hear that?
I heard it. I'm here.
That sounded like...
Oh, God, Miles. Who's in Miles? Is he okay?
The sweeping light flash takes us to exterior grounds. The light sweeps over Andi's crumpled form on the steps. Blanc backs off, breathing hard, a moment suspended, deep regret and anger turning into resolution in his eyes. With a deep clank, the light comes back onto the entire complex. In the windows behind him, one by one, everyone appears, looking down on the tableau. Blanc standing above Andi's awkwardly twisted body, her chest exploded in red. High above them all, in the front-facing window of the glass onion, Miles Brown looks down. Moments later, everyone runs out, each stopping in horror at Andi's body.
Oh, God.
She reels. Lionel steadies her. Birdie shrieks and steps behind Peg, who is in shock. Whiskey sits on the steps, numb. Inside the hallway, Miles stops at the gun on the floor, walks out the block. Gathering himself, he turns forceful and hard.
"Everybody inside, right now."
Clear motion to the body.
Shouldn't we...
A coal ferry has taken Blanc. He storms inside.
"She's not going anywhere. Inside, it's time to finish this."
Interior atrium night. Blanc sweeps in, everyone struggling to keep up.
"Peg, radio the mainland. Tell them to send the boats now. Banksy be damned. Beach them if they have to."
She nods and goes to do it.
Andi.
She killed Duke. Why would...
"No,
This makes no sense.
you're wrong. It all makes perfect sense. Duke ended this weekend. This ridiculous game started well before we set foot on this island."
Will you please then explain it all to us, Detective?
"No. I can peel back the layers. I can take it to a point, but what lies at the center? Only one person can tell us who killed Cassandra Brand."
Hard cut to a front door painted white. A hand knocks. A long moment, knocks again, insistent. A voice we may be recognized from inside.
"Get that, would you?"
Can I help you? You're not in the bath again, are you?
"No."
A beat, then the door swings open, revealing a handsome middle-aged man named Phillip. He blinks at the woman standing in the hall, grabs a mask, and pulls it over his face. We recognize her as Andi, wearing an N95 mask and with longer hair. Her speaking voice is a little softer, with a distinct southern lilt. Her posture a bit more slouched. She awkwardly holds a familiar large cardboard box.
Yeah. Can I help you?
Is this Benoit Blanc's residence?
What is this regarding?
I'm sorry, it's just his office is closed and I really need to speak to him. It's urgent, please. And this is not unheavy.
Blanc, there's someone here for you with a box.
Exterior terrace day. Blanc's apartment has a terrace and an outdoor dining table and a few chairs. The cardboard box sits on the table in front of Blanc. Andi stands at the far end of the table, still masked. Blanc pulls the top of the box off, revealing the shattered, splintered remains of the puzzle box.
Why don't we start at the beginning?
Her mask. Blanc nods and they both unmask.
My name is Helen Brand.
Oh.
I came all the way here from Alabama.
A pause. She is obviously nervous. Blanc gently.
What do you do in Alabama?
I teach 3rd grade. So a lot of Zooming. Been getting into tie-dyeing with the pandemic. That doesn't matter. Mr. Blanc, 2 days ago, I received a call.
Interior morgue flashback. Helen has been brought in to identify the body on a stretcher. A kind coroner lifts the sheets.
My sister committed suicide in her garage, in her car, with the engine running.
Helen nods, mouths yes, and steps away quickly. Revealed the body on the stretcher is Andi, Helen's identical twin, with the shorter hair we're used to seeing her with. Exterior terrace.
My sister was Cassandra Brand. Do you know who she was?
Yes, of course. I thought you looked familiar. An impressive woman, your sister.
You know, she kept a diary every day of her life since she was 6. Know what she called it? Notes for future biographers. Biographers, plural. Girl was 6 years old. Day after high school, she shot off to New York, never looked back. You know, when we were kids, we'd goof off together. We'd do a character, rich bitch. Heavens, the dog ate the caviar again. Then one day, I hear her doing a talk, and that's just how she talks now. Rich bitch. I was like, who are you fooling, girl? Everyone but me. But she had the brains and guts for both of us, and I was happy just watching her use them.
So you get a call.
And look at the box on the table.
Yeah, I get it. I fly here, and this is yesterday. I'm cleaning out Andi's house. It's a mess. All her books everywhere, and I'm thinking about my sister and what got taken from her and how I wasn't there for her. And I'm getting angrier and angrier, and then there's a knock at the door. It's a courier. He hands me this thing from Miles Braun. There's probably some clever way to open it. I don't know. I open it. It's an invitation to his private island in Greece next weekend, one of these trips she'd go on with him that this little group of shitheads that she thought were her friends called themselves disruptors. I knew what they were. I told her, shit heads.
Helen's anger is simmering. Blanc nods, not impatiently, but ready for the point.
Miss Brown, what can I do for you?
Helen nods and takes a plunge.
Andi didn't commit suicide.
Blanc leans back, engaged.
She didn't leave any kind of note, so I was going through her computer, looking through the sent box to see if she wrote anyone anything.
Helen pulls her phone, opens an email, hands it to Blanc.
She sent this at 4 p.m. the day she was murdered, 4 days ago.
Blanc looks at the email, reads it aloud.
I finally found it. It's right here, and I'm going to use it to burn this whole empire down. I'm giving you all one last chance to make things right. You know where to find me. A.
The email has a picture attached of Andi in her home office holding a sealed file-sized red manila envelope up to her computer's camera.
And these 4 addresses she sent it to, I would assume,
Birdie J, Duke Cody, Claire DeBella, and Lionel Toussaint.
The shitheads.
She sends that email. Nothing back from any of them. And the next day she's dead in her garage. Heavy dose of sleeping pills in her system. I have emptied every inch of every room in her house, and guess what isn't there?
Blanc looks at the picture of Andi with red envelope.
The red envelope. Compelling.
Helen's face tightens.
Google said you were the world's greatest detective. I came to you, not the police. Someone like me takes something like this to a group of rich folk with an army of lawyers?
A pause.
But if you get them all together, isolated for a weekend with, in your words, the world's greatest detective.
His eyes gleam. Helen's face breaks in relief.
You want to hire me to go to that island?
It's a stupid idea, right?
Well, I want to be clear. I'm not Batman.
She blinks.
I can find the truth. I can deduce, gather evidence, present it to the police and the courts. But that's where my jurisdiction ends.
Yeah, but you doing it instead of me, I'll take those odds.
Blanc draws a long, thin cigar from his pocket and clips the end, now seeing it deep in thought.
I have not seen your sister's death in the news. Did you release a statement?
No. Shit, was I supposed to? I don't know how this works.
You have no other family member who was informed of the death. If I pull some strings, I could keep it from leaking to the press for another week. Maybe. Yeah, it's a fascinating challenge. And it could work, but... Oh, yes. Oh, that's outrageous. Well, now, yes. Wow, but... Yes. Mrs. Brand, any feelings of reverence or respect you had for me when you crossed my threshold, buttress those feelings now. Buttress them. I'm proposing you come with me to that island. As your sister. As Cassandra Brand.
What? I'm hiring you to go. I'm not... Whoa, what? Are you insane?
Buttress now, yes? Look, a famous detective shows up out of the blue, pokes the subject to your sister, they'll shut up like a clam. Your presence on that island is the essential catalyst.
Oh, come on.
Buttress?
I'm trying real hard to buttress, but this sounds nuts.
Indeed, but it's the only way it works.
This is something Andi would do. She's the smart one. She's the actor. This isn't me. Look at me. They'll know I'm not her.
You cut your hair, you wear her clothes.
You think I'll fit in that shit? And what about my hair?
I know a guy. Listen, why would anyone suspect you're showing up playing your sister when they don't know your sister is dead?
Helen starts to get it.
Right. They don't know Andi's dead. They won't suspect. And you do the inspecting.
Yes, I will. You just have to be there.
Mr. Blanc, is this going to be safe?
No. No, one person will know the truth about you. And the moment you arrive on that island, the killer will know who you are and what you're doing. And will certainly not hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks. And I'm a detective, Helen, not a bodyguard. It's too dangerous. I'm sorry, Helen. I can't help you.
A long beat. We think Ellen might leave, but then...
One of those shitheads killed my sister.
She looks down at the broken muzzle box, angry.
You really think we could get the son of a bitch?
Blanc's grave eyes gleam. He ignites his cigar. Cut to shimmering water, but this time at night, sparkling like inky glass, tilt up to reveal exterior Grecian port town night. Pushing on the adorable dockside hotel, lit up warm and glowing. Exterior hotel terrace night. Table stood up on a front terrace. Helen disguises Andi, steps out the front door. She spots Blanc at the table, flipping through an iPad. She goes and sits with him.
Well, my goodness.
I shouldn't be here. This is nuts. But I'm here, so let's do this.
The server sweeps in.
Drink?
I don't drink, just coffee.
The server seems confused, but then suddenly some seems to understand and rushes off, very excited.
Andi's journals.
Good. Keep studying. Okay, tomorrow I'll go out early, and you should arrive late, so I can watch everyone's reaction when you show up. On the boat, be cold. Don't engage in conversation.
I'm not great on boats.
You'll be fine. Remember, rich bitch voice, Andi posture.
Helen corrects her usual slouch, does her rich bitch accent for most of the rest of the conversation. She shows a small, old-school iPod Nano.
Yes, I put her TED Talks in this thing. Listening to them, the dog ate the caviar. You said you were going to research these people for motives. Did you find anything?
Yes, I did. But motives for each of them to want Miles Braun did. Why would they kill her to protect him? I just don't get it.
What about Miles? What if Miles just did it?
We can't rule it out, but Miles Braun is not an idiot. To risk committing murder after a very public court case with the possibility that Andy's email could come to light would be an exceedingly stupid thing to do, especially if someone was willing to do it for him. Now, walk me through these journals.
Okay, 10 years ago, before any of them hit it big, they all hung out together in this bar.
Interior to Glass Onion Bar flashback 9. The Glass Onion neon sign glows in a dive bar. Andi, Birdie, Duke, Claire, and Lionel all hang out drinking in a booth, all young and broke and buzzed. Andi is the warm center of the group.
And Miles was the leader of the pack.
No, Andi was. They were all friends with Andi. Birdie was a washed up model. Duke was a nerd doing video game tournaments. Claire just lost a race for city council. Lionel was a substitute teacher. All of them run around in their 30s, but Andi saw their potential. She found them all. Then she found Miles, introduced him to the group.
Andi sees Miles enter, waves him over to the booth.
Guys, this is Miles.
Time cut. Later in the conversation, Miles holds court.
At first, nobody liked him. He would say stuff like,
I want to be responsible for something that gets talked about within the same breath as the Mona Lisa forever.
Exterior hotel night.
What does that even mean?
Interior to Glass Onion Bar flashback night. The group huddling while Miles is over at the bar.
It means immortality. He wants to create something that has a lasting...
Andi fumbles to a stop.
His last venture was movie phone for foot massages.
Did it work?
No.
Let's just roll with it. Humor him just a little. Let's see what happens. And things started happening.
Time cuts. The gang in the bar over a series of nights laughing at Miles' jokes, getting happier and happier.
He got Birdie a show for her designs. It did well. Got Lionel published. Duke set up on Twitch. Claire elected locally. Small stuff, but it happened. And then the big thing happened.
The gang plays pool. Andi, with a hardcover copy of The Innovator's Dilemma on her knee, scribbles something. On a napkin, Miles points to it. Everyone looks up.
What's that you're working on?
Exterior hotel night.
So, based on this napkin idea, Andi and Miles create Alpha. It blows up, they bring everyone along for the ride, and Miles' aspirations keep getting bigger and bigger. Cut to 2 years ago. Miles meets some sketchy Norwegian chemist and this ceremony in Peru who pitches
Ayahuasca.
Oh, okay. It pitches him this new hydrogen fuel. He becomes obsessed. He's ready to put the entire company's resources toward launching this stuff.
Interior boardroom flashback day.
No.
We are in an Alpha boardroom with a spectacular NYC view. Andi sits and Miles stands watching her weirdly like a puppy who has brought its master a bone.
Andi, come on, this is it.
On a dish in front of her, the marble-sized clear crystal, an unsigned contract, and a pen.
No. This is not a startup. This could blow up the world.
Yes.
No, I mean, literally, it could blow up the world. The reality distortion field has to end here. I can't let you do this.
Well, what do you mean you can't let me?
I'll walk, and I'll take half the company to stop you from using it for this.
Miles looks genuinely in anguish, weirdly vulnerable. Exterior hotel night.
And she did it. God, I love that she did it. Then she found out his lawyers had worked the contract, so she was cut out of the company completely.
So she sued over that.
Her whole case was built on, intellectual ownership of the company's founding idea.
Her idea. On the napkin.
Which she didn't keep.
Interior courtroom day, Miles and Andi look silently at each other from their respective tables. On the stand, Claire. She avoids Andi's gaze.
Miles got really excited. He had an idea and grabbed a napkin and scribbled it down and showed us.
That's a lie! Claire, look at me. Look me in the eye, Claire, and say it.
Order. Counsel, please get your client under control.
Time cut. Duke on the stand.
Give me a second. That's me too. Do you recall Mr. Cody, who wrote this napkin? Yes. Miles.
Then Birdie.
It was Miles.
And finally Lionel.
Miles.
Andi sits in shocked fury, truly gutted. Miles smiles sympathetically at her, somehow genuinely sorry, like a golden retriever who just eaten your shoes. She glares back at him.
This was March.
Interior Andi's living room flashback day. On an iPad, a Forbes.com story about Miles and his idea napkin. Andi stares at it dead-eyed, a bottle of wine nearly dead beside her.
Right after the verdict, Miles suddenly found the napkin written in his handwriting and did all those interviews about it.
She throws the iPad across the room, goes on a tear, flips her coffee table, shoves books off her shelves, goes full Charles Foster Kane. Exterior hotel night.
Bald-faced fabrication.
A damn lie, and it worked.
Interior Andi's living room flashback day. Andi stops mid-destruction, sees in a pile on the ground her old hardcover copy of The Innovator's Dilemma. Her eyes focus on it. Holy shit. She leans down, picks it up, and out of the dust sleeve falls the real napkin. Exterior hotel night.
So, every one of those disruptors purges themselves to destroy Andi and shield Miles Braun. We need to find out why. Motive. Look, whose was strong enough to go one more step and commit murder. And then, and this will be tricky, everyone's whereabouts on the night of the death. Who could have been to a house that night? Opportunity.
While he's talking, Helen opens to a blank page in one of the journals and draws something.
Our suspects. Motive, opportunity.
She shows it to him. She's made a grid with 4 names on the left and 2 columns for M and O on top. She grins.
Kind of like it's like a...
Yes.
A clue notepad.
Yeah.
You must be great at clue.
I'm very bad at dumb things. Look, it's my Achilles heel. Ticking boxes, run around, search all the rooms. Terrible game.
Well, my students love it.
A beat distant, the glowing light of the island.
I'm scared, Blanc.
I understand. This is your last chance to back out.
Helen looks at her sister's journal in her hand and back out at the island determined. Exterior sea, morning. The ferry cuts its path towards Braun's Island. All the suspects on board. On the back deck, Helen stands, hand grasping the rail tightly, sick as a dog.
Boats.
Helen looks down at Duke on the deck below her.
Ballsy move.
Birdie on the deck watch her. Birdie looks freaked out. Duke grins with a sinister amusement.
You shouldn't be here.
Helen returns their stare. Exterior beach day. A shoe with an untied shoelace scuffs to a stop. Blanc bends to tie it. Helen hanging back with him as the rest of the group ambles ahead with Miles. They talk quietly and quickly.
Duke and Birdie, I think they're on to me. Or they were just being assholes.
Not mutually exclusive. Like, I suspect when we're all settled in, Braun will pull me aside to explain my presence. That's your chance to snoop.
Snoop?
Snoop. Interior Andi's room day. Helen puts her bag down to the bed. Okay, snooping time.
Snooping. Snoop. Okay, here I go.
Exterior grounds, in a bathing suit and beach wrap, she wanders, not exactly sure what she's looking for. Whiskey emerges from the greenery in a bikini and skirt.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, yeah, yes. Hi.
I'm Whiskey. We didn't really meet. Are you looking for the pool?
Sure.
You want this? I'm not into it. Smells like that guy Derol.
A bottle of the hard kombucha. Helen takes it, tries it, winces, but keeps drinking it. They walk together, nothing to say. Helen reaches.
That's a beautiful necklace. Taurus.
Whiskey's necklace is a jeweled bowl.
Miles gave it to me, surprised me for my birthday, filled his whole penthouse on the park with roses. He's a good guy. He's complicated, but
Whiskey looks at her curiously.
I think it's really shitty what Miles did to you and how they all treated you. I read all your court transcripts. You got shanked.
Thanks, Whiskey.
Exterior grounds continuous.
This is my second one of these things. We did a yacht thing last year.
Fun.
When they're all together, it's the worst. Duke treats me like arm candy in front of them. They all ignore me.
Why do you put up with it?
With Duke? I'm building my brand. He's putting me on his channel more. Though he's veering harder right with this man-dom stuff. And if it gets into politics, I don't know if I want to go down that road. It's words. Expeditious? Sure. But kind of a shit show. Here's the pool.
And there it is.
I'm going to walk around a little more. I'll see you down there. It was nice talking to you.
You too.
Whiskey heads down to the pool. Helen watches her go, thoughtful, then slips into the brush to continue snooping. Exterior herb garden. Helen emerges, lost and frustrated, takes another pull from the kombucha, winces, bang. She spit takes and looks in the direction of the shot. Exterior pool continuous. Duke has just fired his pistol.
Really?
Asshole.
Now it's a party.
We stick with Lionel and Claire as they swim out to the deep end of the infinity pool with a spectacular view and privacy to talk.
I did it. 2 weeks ago, I did it.
Signed off on the power plant?
Yeah, God help me. When all this breaks, poof, my base is gone and all my grassroots and lefties gone.
I did it too.
Did what?
Over the edge of the infinity pool reveal Helen lurking in the garden below, listening.
Signed off on putting clear in the manned mission. My staff doesn't know yet.
Let's hope Andi was wrong about this clear stuff.
No, she was right. You put its gas form into household pipes, you get massive leakage into the air. The hydrogen particles are too small.
Hydrogen gas? You're telling me it's literally going to turn everyone's house into the Hindenburg?
He spots Blanc waiting in his shirt and eyeing them. Blanc smiles as they swim past him. Helen emerges into the pool area and walks past. Helen sits next to Birdie and Peg, without them noticing, a fresh kombucha in her hand.
I'll take care of him. Don't worry. There was a time, back when.
Helen throws her voice recorder into Birdie's pool bag.
I was the one who'd been on magazines. He was nobody. He couldn't believe he was talking to me. He was this little thing in my hand. I preferred that.
Birdie lies back and notices Andi lying in the chair next to her.
Andi, hi.
Interior bathroom later. Blanc and Helen huddle in a small single bathroom, a huge painting by Matisse on the wall. Helen is drinking another kombucha and seems weirdly loose.
Wow, you're really good at this. Interesting stuff with whiskey too, and motives for both Lionel and Claire. Well done.
Are those motives? I was kind of confused.
Yes, both of them. They've bet the farm and will both be ruined along with Miles if it fails. They need to protect him at all costs.
Helen takes off the M boxes for Lionel and Claire.
But I can't picture them killing her. I just can't.
Think of the crime, the nature of it.
Exterior Andy's house, hypothetical evening. Duke knocking on Andy's front door, his motorcycle nearby. She answers. He is contrite.
They've come to apologize, to make amends.
Interior Andy's kitchen, hypothetical night. Lionel in the cozy kitchen now with Andy as we see different scenarios seamlessly blend together.
And the murder itself is non-violent, gentle.
Lionel slips some powder in Andy's tea when her back is turned.
They don't even see her die.
Andy fades from consciousness, her head sinks gently to the table. Claire now sits watching her silently and coldly.
She just goes to sleep.
Interior Andy's garage, hypothetical evening. Andy slumped in the passenger seat. Birdie turns on the engine and lowers the window.
No, they're all more than capable.
Interior bathroom, Helen shudders. Terrible to think about. Meanwhile, Blanc pours his hard kombucha into the sink and fills the bottle with water as Helen takes another pull at hers.
Go easy. I thought you didn't drink.
This isn't drink. It's some funky health stuff.
You give me that. That's hard kombucha. Jared Leto's hard kombucha. It's, my God, 9% alcohol. How many of these have you had?
She holds up 3 fingers.
2, maybe. I don't know. I'm fine. We need the O's, the opportunity. We gotta open them up. Push it.
Don't push anything right now.
Listen, I feel good.
I think you should maybe lie down.
We're running out of time.
Helen, please remember the danger here. Step back, let me handle it. Push nothing.
Exterior pool with Helen listening as Miles gives his discourse on disruption. As he speaks, we stay on her face, moving with her as she approaches the group.
They'll tell you to stop, that you need to stop, because as it turns out, nobody wants you to break the system itself. That is true disruption. That is what unites this group. Every single one of us has hit that point and proved they're willing to cross.
Helen takes a last long pull from the hard kombucha, straightens her posture, then claps. Blanc and the rest of the group turns to look at her. Blanc's face. Uh-oh. Cut to exterior grounds afternoon. Helen bursts onto a path away from the pool, hyped up. She saves herself, the tree spinning.
Uh-oh.
Behind her, Claire runs to catch up.
Wait!
Helen takes one breath. Here we go. Then spins on her.
Wait, you wait. That day in court, you couldn't even look me in the eye.
Claire just looked at her hard, up and down, her praising her. Helen holds her gaze. Fear grips her, like someone who's made a bad bluff.
What are you doing?
This is steely. It freezes Helen. The moment is broken when Duke emerges from the pool area, joining them. Standing by silently, Claire looks at him. Back to Helen.
Can we talk about the email?
Oh, now you want to talk about it? You didn't even write back.
Claire looks back at Duke. They both look at her strangely.
I'm a politician. I never email anything I wouldn't want on the front page of the Times. That's why I called.
Helen's frozen. Uh-oh. Did you just majorly fuck up?
All of us did, right when we got it. Over and over and over. Your phone was off the whole next week. Up until yesterday, I've been trying, and it's still off.
I got a new number.
And when we couldn't reach you, I went to your house.
Helen freezes again. Oh shit. But exterior Andy's house flashback evening, we see what Claire describes. Her Prius pulls up just as Lionel gets there in his Tesla. They join Duke, who is knocking at the door and yelling. His motorcycle parked nearby.
Lionel and I got there at the same time. Duke was already there.
The lights were out. I was pounding. I almost broke it down.
We knocked and waited and called for you. We thought we were just not coming out. You were not just coming out. Jesus, words.
During this, Duke has spotted a spider crawling on the wall. In anger, he smashes it. Exterior grounds.
After an hour, we left. Birdie went by later to check, and it was the same. Where the hell were you?
What time did you get there?
I don't know. It was dark.
And Duke, you were there already?
He drove his motorcycle so fast he almost got in an accident.
I almost got pancaked.
Helen squints, trying to keep it all straight in her kombucha days.
Can you all say that one more time?
Look, I don't know what you're planning on pulling being here, but we need to talk about this.
When Helen has a moment of clarity, she knows what she wants to ask.
If I had answered the door that night, what would you have told me? That you were wrong? That you'll back me up with Miles? Or were you all showing up to talk me out of using that envelope?
Claire doesn't reply, and Helen has her answer and takes the opportunity to storm off. Claire watches her go. Duke scowls and leaves. Lionel emerges behind Claire, sees Helen vanishing into the gardens.
Something's off. What is she playing at?
Exterior garden, the adrenaline carries Helen about 8 steps before she swoons and stumbles. From nearby, this is a smokeless garden. Red lights flash through the trees. She takes a defensive posture, so confused. Please keep our water clean. She sees Blanc dash out from the foliage, panicked. She calls to him.
Blanc!
Interior gym day. Blanc and Helen speak quickly in an empty, gorgeous gym. She pounds Gatorade. Behind him, a fitness training video screen has a still of Serena Williams with Workout with Serena beneath her.
That's everything she said, I think.
Wow. I think maybe you should take up drinking. You are just killing it.
Claire and Lionel were never there alone, but Duke came early and Birdie came late.
On her notepad, she ticks off the O for Birdie and Duke.
They could have gotten there early, killed your sister, and then circled away and waited for the others to arrive.
Shit.
She takes off Claire and Lionel's as O boxes.
Something is teasing the edge of my brain. This case confounds me.
Well, we don't have motives for Duke or Birdie, so...
Behind them, we realize the picture of Serena Williams is not a picture at all, but live video. He looks up from his book.
Hey, do either of you two want to do a session?
They look up startled.
I mean, I'm on the clock.
Continue. A clack and whir from off-screen draws Blanc's attention.
Oh, not right now.
Serena Williams goes back to her book with a shrug.
All right, it's your money.
Blanc goes to the source of the noise, a fax machine in the corner, spitting a sheet out into a huge bin. Helen goes with him, still bracing herself.
One number. All his machines.
Blanc gets very excited and digs through the bin, flipping through the pages fast, then stopping and drawing one out. She shows it to Helen.
Holy shit.
It's a fax of the email from Andi with FYI written at the top.
From that afternoon, just minutes after she sent the email.
They look at the top line. Sender, Lionel Toussaint.
Lionel! It was Lionel!
Now, hold on. This doesn't mean he killed your sister, necessarily. Look out!
He spots Duke outside on the phone, coming into the gym. Blanc and Helen both hide as he enters, grabs a gym towel, and wipes down post-run. Can't hear you, Duke. Still can't hear you.
Sorry. Now, right now, you go to him, do what you have to do, but push that son of a bitch. Get an answer from him, babe. We need this. Do this one last time, okay? Love you.
But whoever it is has hung up on him. He stands for a minute, thinking, then leaves with purpose. Blanc looks over to Helen with urgency. She is snoring gently in her hiding place. He nudges her sharply.
Who what now?
Exterior grounds. Duke creeps through the foliage, then kneels watching through a picture window as Miles and Whiskey make out inside. About 20 yards back, Helen and Blanc creep up. Seeing him, they exchange, whoa, shit looks. Then Helen makes a move to get closer. Blanc tries to stop her, but she already gone and the movement snaps a twig. He looks back, nothing. Looks back at the window, and this time we can hear the scene inside as Whiskey and Miles fall onto the bed together.
Are you gonna do it? Are you going to do it for me?
Miles motions to grab her. Whiskey stops and pins him down.
Not that. It's all he wants. The YouTube channel. It's dying. He needs the exposure. Just put him on Alpha News, baby. Just a little late night spot. You promised him you were grooming him for it. And he's earned it with what he did. You know that.
I wish I could.
But
I'm building the future of news. I can't have Rhino Horn Boner Pill Carmen in the mix. He's a loyal friend, but I can't put him on Alpha News, okay?
Kisses her. Duke hearing all this crushes the branches in his face. Helen, hidden nearby and also hearing all this, grimaces and slips away. Exterior Birdie's villa, afternoon. Peg storms out of Birdie's back patio, Birdie chasing her.
Peg, wait!
Don't talk to me.
Birdie runs after her. When she's gone, Helen dashes up and grabs her colorful, oversized bag from a chair right inside the patio door. Helen digs into the bag and retrieves her phone, checks it, still recording. Interior Andy's villa, minutes later. Blanc and Helen sit with the phone between them as Helen scans back through it, finding...
What did he mean it's her only chance?
What does anything mean?
Bird, I swear to God, tell me.
Interior Birdie's villa, flashback afternoon. We see the convo we are hearing. Birdie in tears, Peg fuming.
I'm going to sign the statement. I'm going to take total responsibility.
This will crush us. There's no coming back from this. No, Bird, don't sign it.
The story's going to break. There's no stopping it.
We'll do what we always do. Deny, half apologize, go silent a while. I can handle this.
Birdie pulls the phone from the folds of her dress, hands it to Peg.
What is this?
My secret phone.
Peg glares at her, and looks at the email on the screen.
What's this?
An email with the Sweetie Pants contractor 2 years ago.
Miss J, wanted to alert you that the proposed Bangladesh factory is notoriously one of the world's biggest sweatshops. Please advise. And then you replied, sounds perfect, thanks, with your memoji dabbing.
Peg is gutted. Then after a long beat, it dawns on her very, very slowly.
Birdie, please tell me you didn't think sweatshops were where they make sweatpants.
Birdie stares back at her. A second too long.
Oh my God.
Miles is going to pay me off. He said if I take full responsibility for the sweatshops, he'll pay me the value of my shares, $30 million. I'll do what I have to do to save myself. He's my only lifeline.
Interior Andy's villa.
Can I have my secret phone back?
No.
Helen stops the recording. Helen glumly ticks off Birdie and Duke's M's, a full card.
This never happens in Clue.
That's because it's a terrible game.
They all had a motive to protect Miles, and all of them were there that night. Now what, detective?
Blanc paces, deep in thought. Then...
The envelope. Whoever killed your sister took that envelope to protect Miles. They couldn't just destroy it. They would want him to see what they did for him.
They brought it here. It's here. So how do we find it?
Unless someone brings an attaché case to dinner, they won't have an envelope that size on their person. They'll have to hide it in their rooms. So, at dinner tonight.
Interior Atrium night.
Andy, I'm hoping it's still whiskey soda.
Everyone gathered for drinks. Helen picks up the whiskey soda, but Blanc, wide-eyed, shakes his head at her, and she stashes it behind a statue.
Keep your head clear. Stay sharp.
Mona Lisa's eyes watching the gathering below.
Because you have to find a way.
I just want the truth.
Ding, shtick. The glass slides down in front of the Mona Lisa's eyes. Cut to, we're later in the night. Helen takes Duke's rent.
I can give you that.
We stick on Helen's face as Duke gets in her face, giving his spiel. But we hear Blanc.
A way that is so painfully uncomfortable, no one will question it or follow you. Pick a fight and lose. We have to find that envelope.
Every ounce of Helen's being wants to punch Duke out.
You're the loser. That's the truth.
Helen staring hard back at Duke, then drops her eyes, convincingly broken. She folds and slinks out of the room in tears.
There's the Andy I know.
Ding, shtick. On her way out, she passes Whiskey, smoking just outside the main door.
He's a son of a bitch, Whiskey. Leave his ass.
And walks off into the night. Whiskey watches her go. Exterior grounds night. As soon as she's out of sight, Helen sprints to the grounds, bursts into interior Claire's villa night. She bursts in and starts tearing the place apart.
Search their rooms. Ransacking, fast and thorough. Don't worry about being neat.
Some Claire-like clothes, a stash of pot where she pockets, iPads and laptops, a magic wand vibrator. Helen rips through it all, and when she's done, the room looks like a tornado hit it, but no envelope. Exterior grounds night. Helen sprints the glowing glass onion structure looming above her. Push in on it. Time ticking away. Interior atrium night. Miles cheering Birdie as she spins in her rainbow dress. Interior Birdie's villa night. Gorgeous dress and beach wraps and lots of prescription pills and a dog-eared copy of Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. Huh? Helen feels her phone buzz in her pocket. Interior atrium night. Duke, having just downed his drink, grasps his throat. Interior Lionel's villa. Stylish Lionel, clothes and computer equipment and condoms and LSD microdoses. Another buzz of Helen's phone, but she doesn't check it. Interior atrium night. In the aftermath of Duke's death, Whiskey staggers away from the group, sobbing, and runs off into the night. Interior, the Derol's villa night. Cluttered, comfortable mess. Helen bursts in. Derol sits in an incongruous easy boy chair, watching TV.
Hey.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
She runs right out.
I wanna hang out.
Interior Duke's villa night. Helen runs in, panting, exhausted. Her phone buzzes again. She finally checks it. 37 new messages.
What the hell?
She opens her message app and reacts in horror. Dozens of new messages from friends, all with variants of, Helen, you okay? Just saw. Call when you can. OMG, Helen, I am so sorry. Just heard the news. Her stomach sinks. She opens her browser and searches Cassandra Brand. And instantly fresh news stories pop up. Cassandra Brand dead of apparent suicide. Police confirm.
Oh, shit.
Continued. One quick second of fear, then she pockets her phone and launches back to the task at hand, searching the final villa. Dukes, gun magazines, spearfishing gear, weights, athletic wear. She runs into the bathroom, finds lots of Viagra, but no envelope. Exhausted and defeated, her phone still buzzing in her pocket, she trudges back into the bedroom. A woman screams. Helen freezes. Whiskey has just walked in, her makeup streaked with tears, but she screamed in reaction to the ransacked room. A distant dong.
Andy?
I can explain this.
Then realizes terrified.
Whiskey, is the party over?
Overwhelmed and damn near with tears.
What? No, I left Duke. I left because I could. He didn't deserve this.
Helen thinks Whiskey is talking about walking out on Duke, forcefully in a fuck that guy way.
Yes, he did. He's a bastard. I'm not sorry for him. He deserved it. You're better off without him.
Whiskey stares at Helen, something dawning in her eyes. She grabs the spearfishing gun and aims it at Helen.
What the fuck?
Snap, the lights go out, pitch black. Whiskey freaks out, screaming.
Please don't kill me. No, don't kill me.
Ah, what? I'm not gonna kill you, you crazy bitch.
The light sweeps the room, and Helen dives past Whiskey, who thinks she's charging at her, spins and fires the spear gun. Helen scrambles off Duke's balcony and into the darkness as the spear sticks into a sculpture. Exterior ground is night, pitch black. Helen runs towards the glass onion at the end of her rope.
Ah!
The interior hallway's night. Helen bursts in, weaves, and twists blindly through the dark halls, stops up ahead, and she sees Miles turn into a corner. The light sweeps over her.
Handy!
She turns in the direction of his voice.
Blanc.
She darts off towards it. When she's gone, Lionel emerges into the hall, looks around. Exterior to glass onion night. Helen runs along the outside.
Blanc, where are you?
He steps out and she runs into him. In the jostle we hear,
Helen.
Blanc.
Listen, there's great danger. We have no time. Did you take Duke's gun?
Why would I take Duke's gun? And why are the lights?
Duke is dead.
What?
During all the pitch black window looms ominously behind him.
But no time. Did you find the envelope?
No, all the rooms. It isn't there.
Hold there. There's one more room to search.
They already gave it to Miles. It's in the glass onion.
If I can distract everyone, you can get up there and find it.
But that won't tell us who gave it to him. I don't understand.
Please trust me. It's all in plain sight. We only need one last piece of information, and only you can...
Bang! The glass shatters. Helen flies back onto the steps. Blanc spins, footsteps run away. Blanc turns back to Helen, splayed out on the stairs, breath caught in his throat. Helen groans and then sits up, the bullet hole in her chest smoking. She and Blanc look at each other confused and pulls Andi's journal from her jacket pocket, the slug embedded in its front.
Son of a bitch! Ah, Blanc, what are you doing? Go chase them. Get them. Blanc?
Blanc's face is frozen as his mind races. He looks from Helen to the broken window to the glass onion above them.
Phillip thinks you're dead. This is our cover.
As if in a trance, he reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out the bottle of Jeremy Renner's hot sauce. Helen sees him do this, then with laser focus.
I can buy you maybe 5 minutes alone in the glass onion, but you have to.
I will.
You have to find the envelope.
I will. Gimme.
She grabs the bottle from him. He backs off as she twists off the top, splashes it all over her chest, and lies back playing dead. She realizes she still has the hot sauce in her hand, goes to toss it.
Wait! Give me that. This will be good.
He takes it from her, rubs a dab under each eye, pockets it. His eyes redden and tear up. Perfect. But in another few seconds, he's clutching his face in pain.
Ah, shit balls!
Blanc!
Yes.
He pulls it together, breathes through the pain. Snap, the lights come out. Everyone appears in the windows. Close up Helen's face. Hot sauce runs into her nose, and she tries desperately to keep it still as in the background the scene plays out.
Oh, God.
Everyone, inside, right now.
Shouldn't we?
She's not going anywhere. Inside. It's time to finish this.
The instant they're gone, Helen gets up and dashes inside. Interior hallways night. Helen silently dodges through the hallways and a setup of stairs. Down the hall, we hear distant.
It makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense. Duke, Andi, this whole weekend, this ridiculous game that started well before we got to this island.
Interior lounge area continuous. The suspect gabbered. Blanc doing his thing.
Will you explain it to us then, detective?
No. I can peel back the layers. I can take it to a point. But what lies at the center, only one person can tell us who killed Cassandra Brand.
Who?
I keep returning in my mind to the glass onion.
Interior glass onion night. Helen bursts into a large office space. Nearly everything is made of lucite or glass. There are nearly no containers or places to stash a large red envelope. We hear the continuation of Blanc's denouement clearly as if it's voiceover.
Something that seems densely layered, mysterious, and inscrutable. But in fact, the center is hidden in plain sight.
Helen darts around the room, but it's all infuriatingly clean and open.
Where?
Interior lounge area.
And that is why this case has confounded me like no other. Why every complex layer peeled back has revealed another layer and come to naught. And that was the problem.
Interior glass onion, Helen looks up and sees something freezes. The frame, napkin, and photo of her sister and Miles.
See, I expected complexity. I expected intelligence. I expected a puzzle, a game, and that is not what any of this is.
She steps towards it as if in a trance. The photo and napkin framed against the red background.
It hides not behind complexity, but behind mind-numbing, obvious clarity. Truth is, it does not hide at all. I was staring right at it.
She pulls it off the wall, and the red envelope falls into the table beneath it. The frame itself is clear, just like everything else in the room. She holds them both, the framed napkin picture in one hand, the red envelope in the other. Interior lounge area.
The killer nearly struck my Achilles heel. But thank high heaven, at the last moment, I realized what has teased my brain through this entire case.
He spins on his heel to Miles.
Imbreviate is not a word.
What?
Exterior beach flashback day. When they all first arrive, Miles.
Let's all imbreviate this moment.
Interior lounge area.
Not a real word. It kind of sounds like one, but just entirely made up. Reclamation is a word, but it's the wrong word.
Exterior to glass onion flashback day when Miles is first showing them around.
This place is the reclamation of everything I've ever accomplished.
Interior lounge area.
This entire day.
Interior display garage flashback day. Miles first confronting Blanc about the invitation.
The pre-definite detective.
Interior lounge area.
A veritable minefield of malpropisms.
Exterior pool flashback day. All lounging, Miles telling the Sweetie Pants story.
The infraction point.
Interior lounge area.
And factual errors.
Interior dining area flashback evening.
A bask in the sun, swim in the Ionian Sea.
Interior lounge area. Blanc points out the window.
That is the Aegean Sea.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it is.
His dock doesn't float. His wonder fuel is a disaster. His grasp of disruption theory is remedial at best. He didn't design the puzzle boxes. He didn't write the mystery. And voila! It all adds up. The key to this entire case, and it was staring me right in the face. Like everyone in the world, I assumed that Miles Braun was a complicated genius. But why? Look into the clear center of this glass onion. Miles Braun is an idiot.
Everyone shifts uncomfortably. Miles rolls his eyes.
Oh, please, just tell us who tried to kill me.
Nobody tried to kill you, you vainglorious buffoon.
But Duke took my glass.
That's what you told us he did. He must have picked it up by mistake. You told us right after it happened.
Continue flashback as Miles cheers on Birdie spinning their dress. Duke reaches out looking for a glass and grabs Miles instead. Back to scene.
After you said those words, that's all we could remember seeing. But think, ignore his lies, everyone, and think clearly now. What did we all actually see?
Flashback, this is the actual piece of footage that originally happened. The same angle, the same take, everything. As Birdie spins her dress in the foreground. In the background, Miles openly and clearly hands his glass to Duke. Back to scene.
You handed Duke your own glass, clear as crystal, right in front of our eyes, all of us. Then told a bald-faced fabrication. And it worked.
Blanc, are you saying Miles murdered Duke?
Yes!
Why?
Because the night Andy sent you all the email when Duke got to Andy's house early on his motorcycle.
Exterior Andy's house flashback evening. Duke zipping down the road. He's almost plowed over by Miles in his distinctive blue Porsche.
He saw Miles leaving. Was almost struck by him.
Miles doesn't stop but keeps zooming off. Duke watches him go, shaking his head, and continues to Andy's house.
In fact, he told all of us, right out in the open, clear as day, he told us.
Exterior pool flashback day, the painting of the Porsche on the wall, the mix is a tiny bit different this time, and we clearly hear Duke complete his sentence over Miles cutting him off.
Iconic. Remember when you almost pancaked me with it on the road that night at Andy's?
Anderson Cooper's birthday party in Spain. Oh my God.
Interior lounge area night.
That night at Andy's.
And that night he told us he almost had an accident. Pancaked.
But that was Miles has been in Greece for the past 6 months.
No. Whiskey. Miles saw you on your birthday in New York. Gave you that necklace for your birthday.
Blanc motions to her necklace.
And you're a Taurus.
I am 2 weeks ago. May 9th.
Forget the hydrofuels and sweatshops and consensual cuckolding for cable news assignments.
Sorry, what?
Focus on the envelope.
He dramatically points in the all turn. Helen, still covered in hot sauce, stands on the stairs. Birdie screams.
Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Andi?
What is reality?
Miles stands, looking at Helen, pale, but Helen calmly paces into the room, holding the frame and the red envelope.
Who did the envelope threaten? Miles Braun.
Interior aerospace factory flashback afternoon. Lionel looks around guiltily, feeding a printout of Andy's email into a fax machine.
That night, Lionel faxed Andy's email to Miles.
Interior New York penthouse flashback afternoon. Miles on the road receives it, reading it troubled.
Who received it in New York. The one thing that could destroy his empire of lies, the truth. In the hands of the only person unafraid to tell it.
Exterior Andy's house road flashback late afternoon. Miles flies down the country road in his Porsche.
So, Miles drives his baby blue Porsche.
Interior atrium. Blanc stares, "You idiot," daggers at Miles.
His one-of-a-kind signature baby blue Porsche to the scene of the crime.
Exterior Andy's house flashback late afternoon. Miles' car parked out in front.
And she let him in.
Interior Andy's kitchen flashback late afternoon. Miles at Andy's kitchen table, both drinking tea. He talks gently, beseeching. She watches him coldly.
Of course she did. Miles' machine of lawyers and power could burn her through sheer dumb force, but Miles himself, well, she was clever enough not to fear Miles.
Andy's head droops. She looks up at Miles as her consciousness slips from her grasp, and she realizes what is happening.
No. She did not see the real threat, the obvious threat, till it was too late.
But Miles has become distracted by a spider on the table. He gently scoops it up and lets it out an open window.
And one final time, she was pulled in and succumbed.
One glint of horrible realization in her eyes, and she slips away, her head hitting the table. Interior lounge area night. Miles looks from Helen, tears of rage in her eyes, to Blanc with a blankness that is terrifying.
Duke alone knew you were there that night. But he didn't know Andy was dead. He didn't know that till this evening. Right here. When he got a Google alert on his phone, which has now fallen strangely silent, and which he showed to you. Because you don't own a phone. On
Miles' thin jacket, a very faint rectangular outline has been visible since the lights came back on. Blanc touches it, revealing a phone in Miles' jacket pocket. Blanc takes it as Miles just stares, a lying sticker on the back of the phone.
Duke.
Flashback. As everyone gathers around Duke, Miles surreptitiously scoops up his fallen phone. Back to scene.
Did Miles think he could stop them all from finding out about Andy's death? They all have phones.
All the suspects who have been caught up in the moment suddenly realize this and pull out their phones at once, checking the news. All but Birdie, who reaches for hers but still doesn't have it.
Peggy? Phone?
No.
He didn't need to hide the death. He only had to hide that Duke had shown him the death moments before he was killed.
Interior lounge area flashback earlier that night. Duke shows the phone to Miles, but this time we see the news story is about Andi's death.
Right in the open, Duke showed him.
This changes everything, doesn't it?
It sure does.
He showed him and told him what he wanted in return for his silence.
Numbers like this. Maybe we can talk Apple News?
Miles goes to the bar cart and fixes a drink, hips swinging.
You bet your ass. Come here.
Miles at the bar cart, putting ice and whiskey in his glass.
And so what does Miles do?
Interior lounge area night.
Does he keep a vial of poison in his tooth or something? Is that a rich person thing?
No. Oh, it's so much stupider than that. Birdie, what is in your Cuban breeze?
Vodka, amaretto. My God.
Interior lounge area flashback night. The bar cart, Miles quietly reaches for the can of...
And pineapple juice.
Puts a tiny bit in the whiskey, looks up at Duke.
Yes. Pineapple juice.
Interior lounge area night.
Duke does not dance with pineapple. An allergy?
He can't even have a drop.
Pineapple juice. He just put pineapple juice in his whiskey. God, it's so dumb.
So dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
Lionel cleared a peg, all finished reading the news, looking from their phones to Helen.
Survived by her sister Helen.
Helen.
Who? Oh, you told me about Helen once, your twin sister. Oh, wait!
Birdie points to Helen, hand in front of her mouth, finally getting it.
Helen Brand, ladies and gentlemen. And now we come to Helen's attempted murder, which I have to give you credit for, though it was spur of the moment. It did have a sound foundation of thought. So the lights go out.
Interior lounge area night flashback. The light go out. Miles in the dark, but as he howls in panic, his eyes are calculating, looking around.
And you realize the opportunity laid out in front of you. You have a house on a remote island full of desperate people, all of whom have reason to wish this woman harm.
Interior lounge area night. Having said these words, Blanc squints, but he plows on.
Furthermore,
interior lounge area flashback night.
You had a loaded gun conveniently within reach.
In the dark confusion, Miles grabs Duke's gun. Interior lounge area night. Again, Blanc narrows his eyes as if the words coming out of his mouth are strange. Slowly. Interior hallways flashback night. Miles in the dark halls, pocketing Duke's phone, gun in hand.
And the lights had been turned off.
Interior lounge area night.
Oh my God.
He's realized why all this sounded familiar. Interior to Glass Onion flashback evening. The scene after Blanc ruined Miles's game, Blanc patiently explains to Miles.
You've taken 7 people, each of whom has a real-life reason to wish you harm, and gathered them together on a remote island and placed the idea of your murder in their heads. Like putting a loaded gun on the table and turning off the lights.
Interior lounge area, he turns to Miles, unbelieving.
You brainless jackass. You're one murder with any panache at all, and you stole the whole idea from me.
Interior hallways flashback night. Blanc and Helen outside the window. Miles in the foreground raises Duke's gun and takes careful aim at Helen. Fires. The glass splinters out from a central hole. Interior lounge area night. Everyone in room looking at Miles.
And after all that, you kept the envelope? Why did you burn it or something?
Miles looks blankly at him like a confused dog. Blanc gesticulates to Miles. I rest my case. Helen approaches Miles, pulls the real original napkin from the red envelope, older and yellowed, the same diagram on it as the framed one, but in a different hand.
Recognize this? Andy's handwriting. Gotcha, you son of a bitch.
Okay, let's slow down there, sister. First, how could you prove this is the original? She could have copied mine.
No, because the bar closed 9 years ago, and hers has one thing yours doesn't.
Helen moves her thumb, revealing embossed in fading letters on the corner the name of the bar, the Glass Onion. Miles nods coolly.
But second,
he knocks the lighter in his hand. An 8-inch long, thin blue jet of flame leaks out. It spears the napkin with a nice, like flash paper, and in a fraction of a second, it's turned to a crisp of ash, which floats away. Shtick! Down comes the Mona Lisa glass. Helen can't even move, shocked, horrified. Miles turns, points, and smiles to Lionel, like, thanks for that great idea. Blanc dashes up to Helen.
What did he do?
He burned it.
Burn what? That was so weird.
He just burned it.
I don't see anything.
This will not stand.
Blanc, did you see this proof? No? Did anybody?
Everyone looks at each other and back to him. They aren't going to contradict him.
Then, wow, we've got some wild accusations of murder and deceit with nothing but circumspected evidence.
Blanc flinches but bites his tongue.
And dodgy memories of what we all saw. Now, if we were playing my murder mystery game, which by the way is what we should have just been doing all weekend, then Blanc wins an iPad Pro this time. But this is the real world. And in the real world, you need more than a neat little detective story. You need evidence, and you've got nothing, do you?
Helen looks at Blanc, panicked.
He's right. Contents of that envelope and his possession of it were our only physical evidence.
Helen can't believe it. She looks at Miles.
You want to take this to the cops, the courts? Pick your poison. Anywhere you go, it's your version of the truth against mine. Let's see how that goes. Probably about how it went for Andi. I do want to say that your sister was a complicated woman and she meant the world to me. I'm sorry for your loss.
Silence. Everyone in the room hates him right now, but everyone stays silent.
Nobody's stepping up? Raise your hand. I saw him at Andy's that night. I saw him grab Duke's gun. I saw the napkin before he burned it.
We didn't.
You would lie for a lie. You won't lie for the truth? Still on his titties, you shitheads. Blanc, I need you to do something.
Blanc approaches Helen. He pauses only to pick up her whiskey soda, which still sits on the statue.
I'm very sorry, Helen. This is why my jurisdiction ends. I have to answer to the police and to the courts and the system. There's nothing I can do but maybe offer you courage.
He hands her the drink.
And a reminder of why your sister walked away in the first place.
With strange, delicate formality, Blanc shakes his head and then walks out into the night. Helen watches him go, then stares at Miles, the same stare she gave the invite in her sister's garage. A long beat. Then she drains the whiskey soda, holds the framed napkin photo out at arm's length, and lets it fall. It shatters on the ground. Miles doesn't react. She takes a few steps towards him, weighs the crystal tumbler in her hand, and smashes it on the ground. Miles smirks. Helen picks up a slightly larger trinket and smashes it in a small vase and a slightly larger piece of glass sculpture. Miles laughs, genuinely amused. What is she doing? Everyone else exchanges looks, wondering the same thing. She smashes another thing, and another, eyes locked on Miles. It's Whiskey who breaks the weird tension with.
You go, girl.
Smash. A slight smile breaks on Lionel's face. This feels good to watch.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Go, Helen.
Smash the bar cart, smashing bottles everywhere. A massive smash from on-screen draws everyone's attention. Birdie has just smashed a large glass vase. She gives a primal scream that stuns everyone.
Screw you, Miles. Goddamn, that felt good.
Whiskey pushes something over, gives Miles the finger. Lionel picks up something and with a grin and Miles breaks it. Claire too. Peg dives in with vigor. And all this, Miles leans back, a tight grin on his face, his arms raised in a gesture of, fine, have fun.
That's right, guys. Get it out.
After a round of this with smashed art and pottery and balls everywhere, there's natural lull. Everyone laughs like kids and just played in the mud. Miles claps, grins.
Okay, all right.
But Helen does not stop or slow down. She takes an ornate warhammer and smashes the crystal suit of armor.
Whoa, okay.
Still laughing, but a little uncomfortable, then she swings it into a glass piano.
Whoa, Helen, whoa.
Okay, Helen, all right. Oh.
I think that belonged to Liberace.
A huge container of crystal marble smash and they go everywhere. The mood in the room is turning as Helen shows no sign of stopping, but goes bigger and bigger.
Helen, okay, Helen.
Okay, that's plenty. That's good.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
What do you want?
Then Helen grabs Miles' lighter from the table and ignites a pile of alcohol-soaked rubble that was at the bar cart. It goes up like a small pyre in the center of the room.
Whoa.
Whoa.
They all panic as Helen starts grabbing anything flammable, cushions, pillows, rugs, throwing them onto the ground, growing fire. Everyone slips and slides onto the crystal marbles, trying to catch her like a scene from a Buster Keaton movie. The sprinklers come on, but barely beat back the mini bonfire.
Okay, stop. Enough.
She stops, walks over to him at the table, water from the sprinklers running down her face, the fire behind her.
Helen, walk away.
She nods.
Yeah, with a reminder of why my sister walked away in the first place.
Flashback. Blanc shaking her head, handing her something, giving her the subtlest of nods. Something she now straightens her posture and places on the table in front of Miles. The marble-sized crystal of Claire. Miles looks for a minute to the growing fire. His eyes go wide, flashing to the fireplace, the lights, the heating ducts, the appliances in the kitchen, the coffee machine, everything, as do Lionel's.
Oh, shit.
The bonfire suddenly plumbs upwards as if the air itself is catching fire. Up in the ceiling, into the vents, into the walls, like the house itself is sucking the fire into its lungs. One moment of horrible silence. In exterior, the glass onion night, and the glass onion structure explodes like a balloon with a burst of glass and fire. Then, like the end of Caddyshack, every villa goes up, billows of fire, debris, all of it, popping off like firework, champagne corks in the night. Somewhere. This is a smokeless garden. This is a smokeless garden. This pulls back to reveal Blanc in a lawn chair. He lights up his cigar with great satisfaction and passes the lighter to Derol in the chair next to him, awed at the destruction.
Disruption.
Oh, yeah, fucking A.
Interior atrium night. There isn't much structural damage, but streams of fire jet from ruptured walls. In the middle of the atrium. Miles chokes back a sob, then locks his eyes at Helen, and he realizes she isn't done yet. She turns and runs as she passes everyone to realize in horror where he is going. They all run after her, grabbing her, all of them slipping and yelling in slow motion, trying to hold her back, but she's too strong. She struggles forward, reaching her hand out to the override button for the Mona Lisa, which is comfortable behind its fireproof glass, flames licking off its ambiguous gaze. Miles tries to hold her back, screaming. Helen looks back at him, reaches the button, and without hesitation, presses it. Shtick. As the glass rises, the painting is almost instantly consumed in the inferno of fire. The entire group watches in slack-jawed disbelief. Miles drops to his knees, dumbstruck, looking in the painting's eye one last time before they burn away into ash. Exterior, glass onion moments later. Everyone stumbles out onto the steps, choking and gasping. Miles looks around him, tears in his eyes, and turns on Helen.
Oh, fantastic. You are so punk rock. You think you're an alligator? You think you popped me like a gangster? No, you baby, you child. You feel better now? I hope your little bitch tantrum gave you closure, because that accomplished nothing.
Your fuel of the future just barbecued the world's most famous painting, dumbass. Congratulations on the public launch of Clear and the end of Miles Braun.
This starts to sink in. Miles' face hollows out, the glass onion still burning behind him.
You're ruined. But you did get your wish. You will forever be remembered in the same breath as the Mona Lisa.
Helen wipes her hands on her pants and walks off past the disruptors, spread out onto the steps past the flaming remains of the entire compound. When she's gone, the disruptors all look at him hatefully. Birdie raises her hand.
I saw the napkin he burned.
Claire raises her hand.
God, now that you mention it, I clearly saw him grab Duke's gun.
Then Lionel.
Saw him driving away from Andy's house the night she was killed.
They all look at him. He stares back, unbelieving.
Oh, you shitheads.
Exterior beach night. Onto the beach where Blanc sits, staring out to the sea at the distant ferry and several police boats with flashing sirens.
Get the son of a bitch.
Yep.
You ready to go home?
Helen sits with a straightened posture, looking out at the approaching boat, gazing out at it a long while, maybe smiling, maybe not. It's hard to tell. The end.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Glass Onion. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. It was a ton of fun. And we'll see you at the next one. Have a good one, everybody.